Hello and welcome, heroes, to Planeshifters, a D&D actual play podcast, episode 6, I think.
Yeah.
That's what you have on the thing, so yeah.
We're super excited to be here. I think we missed a week due to one of our players having a wonderful outing. So we are back and ready for awesome, I guess. If you don't know, I am your host, Justin. I am the host, the lead designer, project manager, all of that stuff for the Crit Academy. We just had a successful Kickstarter, so I want to say thank you to everyone who backed Extraordinary Expeditions. Already hard at work all day long getting the drafts ready to go to editors and getting some previews from our backers. So super exciting. We also recently, it kind of overlapped with our Kickstarter, but we did release Fantastic Feats, 55 new feats for your D&D campaign. So keep an eye out on that. I'll have a blog coming out with some samples so you can dig into it, or you can head on over to DM's Guild and pick it up right now.
Do it.
Do it now.
Well, maybe not now. Maybe after you're done watching the stream, then do it.
Every Sunday we have our Dungeons and Dragons podcast, Crit Academy. You can join us at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be talking about Fizbin's Treasury of Dragons this week. We'll have a special guest on us that knows all about this sort of stuff from older editions. So I'm super excited to have Hello Operator on. So please come join us. With that, why don't we take a second to go around and introduce yourselves, tell us who you are and who you're playing. Let's start with Will.
Yeah, I am playing Echo, the Changeling Sorcerer. Looking forward to this week.
Wonderful. Austin.
Hey guys, I'm Austin. I'm just a guy now. I'm a friend for all these guys here. You've probably seen me a million times. And I'm playing Zorax, and I cannot wait to play more of this campaign.
Yes. What about you, Matt?
Hi, my name is Matthew, and I play Garmor, the mysterious hooded druid. By the way,
nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
this
it.
is the Critical Role Vaxel Don hooded cloak.
Oh,
cool.
Does it got any logos or anything on it? Because it just looks like a black hoodie from here.
Oh, you probably can't. Actually, you could see.
Oh, yeah, I can see the
three daggers here. There's
Nice.
actually a pair of wings on the back, but it's a mess for me to show it.
Alrighty. Ian?
I'm Ian, also a co-host of Crit Academy. I'll be playing the Artificer, Merl Bronson, and if there's an explosion that happens today, it's probably his fault.
That's funny. All right, and of course, I am your Dungeon Master. So how about we get started by where we left off? So with the teleportation of our city of Elturel from Avernus, our heroes ended up in Ravnica, and of course, all the disaster and war basically broke out temporarily. Our characters went and met with the Supreme Judge Aspira for judgment, and after a long deliberation between the Supreme Judge and the guild leaders, our heroes were found not guilty so long as they adhered to her conditions. Bless you.
Thank you.
And she did allow them to deviate from her plan a little bit. One of her conditions was that Zorax must meet with the Archangels to potentially remove the dangerous taint of his powerful magic item, the Shadowrazor. So they were then turned over to Niv Mizzet and the Izzet League per our player's request, in the hopes that they could find a potentially less dangerous method before being turned over to the Archangels. Since they are most versed in technology advances, the hope is that they'll be able to, remove some of the corruption without, endangering Zorax at all. Merl requests that the sword be examined. He started that. Now, they were only given a day and a half for the. They were only given a day and a half to figure out whatever they can before the Archangels will be sent to retrieve the sword from Zorax. Then, after the negotiations, they were teleported outside the gates of New Prahv, where we left off. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Wonderful. So, with that, you guys are standing outside on that long, massive set. It's like a main entryway that is a just ginormous bridge. You can see off in the distance the floating airships that are leaving that little launch pad that you guys had passed through previously to get here. You can see the large trees kind of, several hundred feet off the drop side to the bottom. And as you guys are heading out, Osif and kind of says to you, he says, "Well, good idea. At least, we're not dead."
At the start.
True.
We're
Yes,
alive
Uh,
currently.
Good start.
It wasn't a good time, but we're not dead. So
Good time, he says. He gets all excited. He says, "I love good time. Do you want to play?"
now's probably not the best time.
Oh, always good time. So you guys have a few things to address at the moment. You have to get the information you have back to Al Terrell. You have to find and locate the Izzet Guild. And
Or
yeah,
just
you
have the
all have-
Archangels
yeah.
abduct me, I guess.
or just let the Archangels abduct Zorax. So what is the plan of action? Obviously, if you go to El Terrell, you're going to lose a lot of time.
Well, we don't see a mushroom called up in the distance, so they're not that way.
Well, okay. So clearly, I mean, we need to go to El Terrell, or else if we don't take down those walls, people are going to be pissed.
The swarm
That's true.
specifically.
Yeah,
The-
and
Golgari are known in the city for cleaning up biological messes.
Garbage.
Really, I mean that's
Yep.
kind of their job in the
They're
city.
Yep.
are you
Yeah.
saying
So
we
I
should
mean, if we
hire
could.
them?
No,
If we could work with them, since it's something they want to have done, we could work with them and make them happy.
they want us to take down the wall that was created from their corpses.
Right. Which is fair considering it's in I can't find any better term for it, but it's kind of sacrilegious to their people to mount
Yes.
their corpses as defenses.
Yeah.
You think?
So, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna say that we kind of like having the walls to keep them out, but I also understand from a moral standpoint that I am not formally acquainted with that. Yes, we probably should take these down. I just don't agree with
I
it.
will float out the idea that this has already been voted on.
Yeah.
And, if the Golgari want to take it down, then maybe let them do it.
Yeah, but we also need to let people of Elturel know that they're going to take it down, so that we may all survive to live the end,
Right.
of the
There
day.
may be a way, but it may also not work
What are you referring to?
as a replacement to the makeshift wall, but it's not thick enough. there is a 5th level spell that I could cast twice a day called Wall of Stone. I could create panels that are that is 6 inches thick, and it is composed of 10-foot by 10-foot panels. Each must be continuous with at least one other panel. Alternatively, I can make 10 by 20-foot panels, but it's only 3 inches thick.
Hmm.
I would imagine that would take a while.
Yeah, I agree. I only think that
Oh,
I
never
mean-
mind. It's a concentration spell.
so that doesn't work.
I think if you
Well, I will
concentrate
say-
long enough, it becomes permanent, doesn't it?
I
Yes.
am not. Okay. So
For
there
its
is
whole
that.
duration.
How long is the
But
duration?
I think it takes a while.
10 minutes.
Well, it's not as long as I thought. Well,
That's way
okay,
shorter.
that's
Surround a
great.
city would certainly take a while, but that is definitely an option.
There
It-
may be other spellcasters that survived El Terrell that could help construct such panels.
Having other
There's a
high-level
giant city.
casters, yeah, and
There's
asking if they
plenty
have
of
even
resources
survived
we could use.
literal hell is something different entirely. I think we need to. Well, before let me put this out here first. Before the angels quite literally descend and take me, we do need to get moving elsewhere. So we might want to decide on that part as well, unless you guys just don't care, which is understandable. But I will be quite
Well-
literally, like a mouse to an owl, be snatched into the sky.
I think taking the sword to the Izzet League is a waste of time.
Speak for yourself.
You just want to go there for the research, don't you?
I mean, that is kind of
That
his thing.
is the entire
Yes.
point of taking a sword there to begin with.
That's also why we
Gentlemen,
have
anywhere
the
you
powerful red crystals,
go-
and why we're here today, which is debatably for the better.
Anywhere you go, there's still the risk of somebody holding a grudge against you from the
Yeah.
trial. So
That's true.
anything
wanna
that
do
you
that.
decide to do, it might be good to not let people around us know what we're doing.
Hmm.
So maybe a
Well, I'm sure if
private
they kinda come mess
conversation.
with
Zara
us.
walks up and says, then you probably don't want to talk about it in public.
Who comes and walks
Exactly.
up?
Jara.
Oh,
Jara. Oh, is that the one
You
guy?
guys forget about him?
the guy
Jar-
you made.
Jara's
you-
the soldier that I don't like.
I kind of look
And I
at him and I
agree
go,
with him. Ugh. Jara,
I guess
don't
that's
agree
fair.
with
Jara, don't agree with me.
What did you say, Matt?
I said that I was briefly explaining to the group, to everyone, that he was the guy that Zorax had him
I made him puke.
puke by touching Shadowrazor.
Ah, good times.
You can see
Good
crud all
times.
over his uniform.
That was a good time.
He says, "Well, it sounds to me like we need to get information to your city,
Yes.
which is certainly something that the Boros Legion can do. We specialize in running messages to our soldiers on a regular basis. I'm sure that I can convince the higher ups to allow me to send a runner to El Terrell for you if you lack the time and efficiency. But
We can probably send Orsif with them too.
I mentioned that I do have ways of getting messages to places in the city quite quickly, and if they just wanted
yeah,
me
you
to
work
send
with
a
a
message, I
Literal
could.
spy network. That's fair. Yeah, why don't we just do that?
Yeah.
Send one of your colleagues and be like, "Hey, this is a message to the guys who got you out of hell and in here. Tear that wall down, please."
Except for one problem:
So-
a language barrier between a spy messenger and the people of El Terrell.
No, we have the
know your
the spy
language, and I
mistress.
would be sending the message, so you'd be fine.
We also
And
know
there's
that-
also the guy that helped, that actually helped Zorax decipher the language is still back at the town.
And to be honest,
find
the
his name.
Demir are pretty good at the language already.
His name is
Sorry.
M.
yeah, M is there.
Show for Eminem.
So there's a couple different ways that language barrier is no longer an issue. That was mostly an issue to get the game started because you just entered a new world. But you guys have went through the process to develop an understanding of the language. The Echo with you also is proficient in both languages, so he can make the letter say whatever he wants.
Mhm.
And at what point do Garmor and Merl start to pick up on the language?
They would have
'Cause
to
we've been here
actively be
for-
studied for a few months, right? I
Yeah,
think is the
well,
overall
like a month and a
timeline
half.
so far. Yeah,
like a month.
I mean,
month and a
unless you're
couple weeks.
actively spending your time studying,
Yeah.
which they had to do just for the other people to learn. So they might know like about as much as an otaku knows Japanese watching anime. They can pick out some words here and there,
That's
but
a
for the
really
most part, you
good...
can't have a good conversation.
Yeah, you can't like have
Okay.
a fluent conversation or anything like that. I would imagine.
Yeah, no, you can only get.
It's a
you can
very
only-
real world like thing. Is like, very rarely do people who actually can like travel and like know the language within like months.
Speaking of travel,
I'm just waiting
what-
to like whisper something and have Merle go, I know that word.
I will keep that in mind.
What does Garmor see? Does he see any large trees with his passive perception of 20?
Oh, yeah, you can, when you're on this giant, it's like a massive walkway, right? It's a giant wall that goes up and you're walking across the top of it, and it divides two large areas. To your left is now like a massive collection of, what? Puns? No. Of apartments and stuff. And then on the right is a area that has like a massive statue in it, and it's got some large trees and stuff, but it's like 200-foot drop down to there.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm
feel like this
looking
is
at
not
the
an issue.
well, looking
Alright,
at the end,
so-
you can see stairs that kind of wind their way across down. So there is a way down.
Exactly what should I say in the letter to Elturel?
Let Merle do that.
All right, Merle, a man of the language.
Yeah.
So are we just saying tear down the wall and we're not going to get executed? That pretty much it? Or
Start with the not going to be executed
Hey!
first.
I thought you said you relinquished your rights to let Merle decide what it says. You get to hush now. You said
Found
let Merle do it. You don't get a say anymore.
Found not guilty. One of the conditions was tear the wall down. It was agreed for our safety. Continuing negotiations.
I like that.
Okay, I like it.
Also sounds like we're
Brief
still doing
to the
something
point.
and not something just because I'm an idiot holding an evil sword.
Yeah, we're busy also. We should like add, we're busy making sure the city stays safe still.
yeah. Really fluff it up
You
a
want to
little.
drop in the fact that one of you is carrying a demonic blade, and
No, don't mention that part.
Yep,
We-
that was the continued negotiations part.
Should
Yeah,
we
that's
mention
okay.
that we were attacked by the Syndicate on the way here?
No, we shouldn't
that
mention
se-
that either.
that seems kind of important.
Yeah, but like we don't want to worry the people more than we already have with tearing down the wall part.
How
You're
about
so thoughtful.
here's a medium. Tell them to not trust members of the Syndicate at all.
That's fair.
Reasonable.
like they're one of the guilds to blacklist in terms of making an agreement.
Works for me.
And work with the Golgari Swarm, but use caution.
Yeah, we gotta have to make mention of that, huh?
Extreme caution. I think the people of the city might be a little bit worried about working with the bug people that attacked us when we first showed up.
We
So-
first showed up. You just came out from the chaos.
Yeah, well,
Hence
I
the
helped
use
you guys
caution
not
part.
die. So
Also explain that the taking down the wall is going to some extent, appease the swarm.
Yeah, we should probably mention that, I guess.
Yep.
I just love the idea. Let's send the people that we murdered to build the wall to tear down the wall. Oh my god. Oh, you guys crack me up.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm good now.
I forgot you were
sure?
a triple sneezer.
Yeah, I sneezed 3 times. I don't sneeze 2 or 1. I sneeze 3.
What are you yelling about over there? You know they can hear you. Okay, everyone can hear you. All right, so to my understanding, you guys are making you're putting this letter together right now as you guys are making your way down outside, leaving New Prague, and your pal Echo is going to pass it off to be sent to El Terrell, but you're specifically not including details of the attack from the Syndicate at all. Is that
Yep,
correct?
just telling them to be wary of them.
Okay. All right. So, is there
Can I describe
anything
how I
else?
hand off the note?
Yes.
Okay. So, you guys see Echo kind of slip off to a man that just looks like a beggar on the front steps. And you guys just hear me whisper to him, Eterel, and hand him the note. And you see him going from like this like crippled old looking man to like taking the note, standing up and walking immediately away.
He skydives off this giant thing you're walking across. He just jumps off. Jara runs over, looks over the edge, and the guy's gone.
Zorax also goes, guys, it's the strangest thing. So, I can kind of just see stuff. And it's like he just went and jumped. And before he even left my range, before I could see him, it just goes, whoop. Just, whoop. He's gone. I don't know what happened to him. I've never
That's what
seen this
cutthroat-
before.
That's what cutthroats do. They disappear without a trace.
Not their souls! This man's gone!
Let's be real though. This is probably the strangest thing we've seen.
I mean, no, but it's still just like alarming that that can just happen. I would like to know what happened.
All right, and I turn to Captain Jara, to the Izzet League.
Yeah.
The Izzet League. Can you help us get there? We don't really know where they're at.
Yeah. It's we probably should get some sort of
It's like a
ride,
depressed tour
'cause
guide.
It's quite a bit of a hike all the way to precinct 4.
Can't
As,
you use one of
uh,
those weird ship things?
Oh, I was gonna make that suggestion. Yeah, I think as we're walking, I just kind of suggest an airship. Would be a good idea.
What time
we're
of
not-
day is it?
Airship, I'm in.
So, are we allowed to commandeer an airship? It's a shame my soldier status doesn't mean anything around here.
Yeah, 1 second.
Bless you.
You're passing your
Bless
shit
you.
off to me, asshole.
Hey man, that's over. Look,
I believe.
are you
the
one of those people
airship
that are
should
worried about
be-
5G?
No. All right. So yes, you guys did pass the Augustin station, where the airships are, and Jara does say, "Yeah, that could work, but it gets kind of expensive."
How expensive?
Well, it changes day to day. I can never afford it, but maybe y'all can. Let's we got to pass through that way anyway, I suppose. So why don't we head on that way and see what
I
we
tell
can-
Jara, don't worry about it. I'm from here. I can get us passage. No problem.
I guess leave it to that guy, huh?
Insight check.
That's certainly
For
strange.
what? Okay. Insight check, apparently.
Who's the insight checking?
I don't
Me.
know. But who are you insight
He's
checking?
insight checking me, I believe.
Yeah, he doesn't trust you because since you revealed and saved him and all.
Well, it's not
That's
gonna
up
work.
to you.
anyway.
I don't know if he's
Right.
telling the truth. I don't. You gotta.
It's
Ask
not gonna
him.
work anyway because I rolled a 1.
Ah, well.
I feel like you should challenge him. Why do you doubt me after I saved your life? Next time, maybe I'll just let you die.
When did he save our lives?
Well, I mean, I
From the
wouldn't know
judge?
that he's.
Right?
What?
Stood up
I
for
brought
you.
tons of evidence. I brought tons of evidence from Racken point of view to the trial.
Yeah.
Also,
mention-
His whole job.
Not to mention all the insight on the various guilds.
also, didn't you try and kill a man in broad daylight, and he was the one that stepped up to save your life? Remember
I don't
that
recall.
part?
No.
I
Trust is hard
recall.
to-
Yeah, you
that
ju-
cloak. That cloak makes it hard to trust.
if anything, I'm more trustful of Echo than I am of Garmor. He just tries to kill people, and I'm
Right?
the evil guy.
So, as far as you can tell, he seems honest. He hasn't given you any reason to believe otherwise. So, as you guys you make your trek, it takes a little while to get there. You travel for a few hours. A little bit of conversation passes between you guys. Can I get some perception checks for kind of just listening to the random passerbys as you guys are marching through the 10th district?
That's a spicy 4.
Would
Well, I
I
rolled a
have
7.
to?
And that's not going to understand what people are saying anyway, so.
Yeah, same with Garmor.
That's true.
Nat 20.
I wasn't
nice.
paying
Sorry, no,
attention.
All right, Echo. So during the travels heading toward Augustin Airport or air whatever I said it was, air station,
Ships.
you hear a kind of a crotchety old man. He goes, "Did you hear? 2 Boris Minotaurs garrisoned at Sunholm were meeting with old friends at the Newson Tavern last night. They spent most of the night telling stories about the madness that's taking over the 2nd district." Hang on a second. That's wrong. Doo-doo-doo. I want to give you a more specific. Over in the Trans Guild Promenade. Yeah, it was bad. They say it's taken out a bunch of their soldiers. Them and the Grohl.
Damn.
Grohl clans are fighting over territory now to escape the infected areas. It's horrible.
I relay this
I had to give you more because you got a
message.
20.
I relay this information to the Demir using a
Spiderweb.
spider. Yeah.
So you, as you are just kind of, you overhear this, you kind of take some notes, and as you're making your way into the Augustin precinct, you take a moment to relieve yourself and use that as a distraction. Give me a stealth check to slip away to leave a message.
Okay.
Why is your camera so blurry
A
there, Echo?
17. Did I just go really blurry?
Everyone else? Yeah.
Yeah, you look
I
a
don't know
little
if it's because you're too
pixelated.
far away.
It's
I'm
a
not
little
sure.
weird.
Can the rest of you give me perception checks, please? See if you spot him.
I would see him passively.
Oh yeah, you
Perfect.
got all the you got the ridiculous high
Passive perception. yeah.
passive perception. What? Okay.
I have
What
only
is
a
your passive again?
20.
Yeah, you spot him slink away.
Sheesh.
You notice that he's gone a little longer than he should be just to relieve himself. What about Ian?
20.
You actually spot him too, and you start to wonder if he just dropped a number 2 in a corner. He's
Yeah.
gone a little long. He at this point, you guys take a moment. You guys gather yourselves, and Echo returns after relieving himself. Okay,
That's all you
nobody's
guys.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say you guys aren't gonna.
I didn't see anything.
Jump on that at all. Yeah,
All right,
they
shall
don't
we
have
keep
to. I
going?
just need to know so I can move on.
You're late.
Yeah, I guess.
I was using the
Right.
restroom.
I mean, I didn't notice anything, but dark demonic presence inside my sword kind of keeps me
Right,
busy.
with a sword like that, you're probably ready to get to the Izzet League, I'm sure.
Minion, you're not gonna really let him take me, are you? Do you know what I'll do to you? I will rip your soul from your body.
Didn't you already try that once?
If I want lip, I'll ask you to unsheath me, all right?
I don't think you can physically control my body, thankfully. So,
Not
know.
yet.
oh, that's
I'll
problematic.
harness those Archangels' power and free myself of this weakness you have. All right, with that, you guys make it to the.
Didn't really consider that as an option. It's kind of scary. Just have to fight Shadowrazor. Oh boy, guys! You're all in the Izzet League, and I'm stripped away with Archangels, and I have to fight my own sword. Except it's the big, massive shadow version of him. I'm like, well. That's
So as you guys enter the air station, you get a much better look at it than you did previously. The area is just kind of mind-blowing. The structure is made of almost complete metal and these very intricate archway style designs. You can see big giant round almost like tubes made of like a metal like armor running every which direction. There is machines clinking and turning and thumping and steam popping out of them. You see crackling blue energy bouncing around from these little crystals that are clearly the power sources for some of these gizmos. I need an intelligence check from Merl.
well, these look fascinating.
17.
So as you're kind of poking around, you bust out your little gizmos, your eyes, you got the little microscopes, you're poking around all the little bit of devices, and you can realize that the stones that are powering these devices have some sort of arcane power trapped in them. They're not like jewels, but they're more like like a case. It's something that's formed around these things. You can tell that they're not naturally made. Somebody formed something to contain this raw energy, this arcane power, and it really makes your gears turn. You know what I mean?
I wonder if they use these crystals as a lodestone, or if they somehow force the energy inside it in some way, shape, or form. I mean, if they use it as a conductor. Anyway,
Zorax is just like, it's. I know I'm not dumb, but like, wow, those are words I don't quite understand what you're saying. I get conducting. Lodestone?
Yeah, lodestones, a naturally occurring stone that is magnetic.
Oh. The more I know, guys. What do you know?
So as you're making your way through, you see a collection of just hundreds of people on these in these really long lines that lead up to multiple levels, and at each level you can see these massive metal airships. You've seen airships before that are made of wood that generally have some sort of balloon or spinning blades, but all these have are like these jetting out wings with these crackling bursts of energy that are just humming from beneath them, that are some sort of levitation device. Merle, you're able to lodestone is something that deals with the gravity?
Magnetism.
Yeah, so you recognize it as some sort of complex lodestone machine that seems to be keeping them aloft. And what's interesting to you more than anything is outside the kind of crackling, it's pretty much a silent vessel.
All right.
Question for Garmor: would these
before-
be more sophisticated than what Garmor has seen during the Storm King's campaign?
Yes. There's nothing like this in the Forgotten Realms, and it's far more advanced than even the giant mecha thing you guys saw. I don't remember the name of it, but
The one in Avernus, the Flying Fortress.
yeah, that one. Not just that one. There was the giant robot thing from Storm King's Thunder too.
Yeah,
The Volder Ron. I don't remember what it's called.
I recall that, yeah.
And then there's the airships that the giants used.
Mhm.
Yep. Those were just held aloft by just magic in general.
Before we go to get on the ship, I would like to change into something that would be more likely to get us on the ships.
Okay.
So I'm gonna actually kind of like step away from the group for a second and like over like by a janitor just to like change, and then while I'm over there, I'm gonna hand off my note.
Okay.
That works. I'm assuming
as
you
you're-
don't relay this to us, right? You're just kind of doing this?
I'm just doing this, yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, you guys will know when I come back that it's me.
Right. See,
Yep.
Zorax also goes on nightly strolls and does not good things. So he's just
Sketchy
like,
shit. He gets it.
You know, he's just like, eh. To each their own. We all have our skeletons in the closet.
I won't bother you, you don't bother me, type of thing. Yeah.
So as you guys are standing in line for a few hours, we'll say you guys have only walked and stuff, so we're gonna give you the benefit of a long rest.
Woohoo!
But you're gonna need to sleep eventually before you can get another one.
Okay.
But I would say that you've done enough light activity, standing around, walking, that we can validate giving you a long rest. As you guys are just kind of sitting here for a few hours in this long little line, and you get up there, and you spot a guy, standing in this really surprisingly nice blue and white outfit. He says, "Ticket, please."
I step up and I say, we're actually on a court order from the Supreme Judge. We need to get to the Izzet League. So we'll be heading out to the ship, and I start walking past him.
He says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm gonna have to need to
Is
see
there an
some
issue?
official paperwork." Yeah, you can't just the service isn't free. The equipment breaks down, it's wear and tear. Even if you do have a commission from the Supreme One, you still need to pay.
I search my belongings
So
for
this is
any
an urgent
documentation.
matter.
I don't.
We didn't have
care.
time for documentation. We need to get to the Izzet League. There's a risk to the city if we don't.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
You live here?
There's always issues around here. Go visit, the other precincts. The Grohl are at war incessantly. The syndicate's battling the Boros. When is it not something wrong going on?
Well, when the risk of cities landing on your head is an issue, that's.
Are you planning to drop one on my head?
Not again.
Just saying, it's happened before.
Just pay the man.
I think Can we do like an intimidation check? Let's say, right? Where I can just
You
intimidate the
can
man. Say,
certainly-
I'll do any check.
I will try to intimidate the man, saying we need to go, as I cause tremors under his feet with thaumaturgy. That is
Go ahead.
a 22. Sorry.
The ground begins to tremble, and he grabs onto the nearest bar. He says, "Oh, not again! Not again!"
We need to pass.
It takes him a second. He realizes that as he kind of lets go. I don't.
It's just us four.
I can't let you pass. And now you're becoming a disruption. He starts waving over, and you see the equivalent of the Ravnica TSA guys walking over. You got this big barbaric-looking elephant dude with massive tusks, and he kind of has the trunk thing kind of flailing and making a noise when he goes, "Oh, I gotta get that away."
I would.
What's wrong, Sammy? He says, "There, these."
Just pay the man.
They're
already.
trying to ignore the rules, and that one is threatening me, and I don't think that I like it, and I think that you need to do something. And honestly, I think they're going to need to be randomly inspected because I am not going to take this anymore.
Both of you want to just pay the man.
All right, guys. Step out
Okay.
of line.
Sorry. I look in my pocket, and I cast Prestidigitation to pull out a ticket, and I hand it to him.
Oh no.
I
won't
thought
say
he didn't have a ticket.
I
He
didn't
show one
realize
before.
I had it. I thought I had it, or I thought I didn't have it, but I found it. Got it from the courts. Sorry.
Give me a performance check, please. Let's see how your acting chops are.
A 21.
Damn.
Not bad.
Here, I was expecting soap opera level, and you just gave me MCU level. All right. So he says, well, I guess if he's got a ticket, he looks at the rest. Do the rest of you have a ticket?
No.
I can only.
You
Make
can.
one.
He's like, you can pass, sir, and he allows Echo to pass.
He reaches
How
for
much?
the coin purse, and he thinks, "Are my coins gonna work here?"
He says it's 25 Ravnican coins.
Don't get
Jace
It would be
coins. We'll call
25
them Jace
coins.
We'll call
It
them
would
Jace
just
coins.
be coins to them. I don't think they'd really have a. We wouldn't
That's
know.
just
We would just
true.
hand them gold, and we'd be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, I guess I didn't actually Google what the Ravnican currency was.
25 gold here.
It's Xenos.
Man.
It's Xenos.
Uh-oh. We definitely don't have that.
Nope.
You hand him these, and he
Ah.
says,
I couldn't
"What
do it.
is
No.
this?
Money.
Are you trying to counterfeit? These aren't very good.
Dude,
I'm gonna ask
this is
you
clearly
to
not even the
step
same
out of
currency that you
line."
guys use. How the heck would that be counterfeit?
Is it the same?
No.
Okay, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
You had me thinking for a second. Did I give you some? I don't remember. He says,
No.
No, this is Faerun money.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's 25 Xenos." And he ushers you in. And Jara looks, he's like, "Sorry guys, I only got like 32, and that's like my whole month's."
Also, now Echo is stuck on the, the airship.
I only have 46, so.
Oh, this is a horrible time.
Of all the problems to stop heroes from doing their work, not having the right currency is certainly a problem.
How hard would it be
Yep.
for them to just sneak on to where I'm at?
That depends. How would you
What
do
is
it?
the-
Considering
what
Osip's with them.
What
yeah,
is
Osip's like big and giant. He's like, oh. Go ahead.
what does the landscape look like here, right next to this ship? Like,
You
is
are
it just
thousands
floating
of
above?
feet-
Like,
You are thousands of feet in a tower up above the main last. Basically, you were on a long line that just kept going up, and then at different levels, there's different
Gotcha.
different exiting ships. Imagine it's like a giant pillar, circular pillar, and then the ships just kind of flying on different levels in all directions in dock with it.
okay,
So you guys are pretty
So,
high up at the moment.
what you're
on one of
saying
these
is-
entrances.
is that I can totally, if given the chance, just jump off, look like I'm going to, like, suicide here, but I can, but I can Misty Step onto the ship afterwards to feign my death.
Bold of you to assume
And
there's
then-
no magical wards in place.
You can
I
try.
can't.
You can certainly try.
I can't really make suggestions because I'm not with them.
Well,
Ravenwood just
You're-
grappling
yeah,
hook
you
would be so
you
much
passed a
easier.
short distance on the other side. Basically, they're trying to get through the metal detector. You're stuck on the other side at this point.
I say, wait a minute. I come out and I pull out a badge. And I say, oh, they can come on.
The guy's
I
eyes
totally
widens.
forgot.
The guy's eyes widens, and he says, "Oh, yes. Actually, now that I think about it, I think
I'm
I think
so
somebody dropped
sorry.
your
This would have
tickets
made
off
it so
earlier."
much easier. Yeah, the
Yeah.
courts would have taken care of that for us. I'm so sorry that I didn't think of that sooner.
Yeah, I see it right now. And then the big giant elephant dude's like, "So we're good." He says, "Yeah, we're good. We're good." And he just thump, thump, thump as he walks away. And you hear him kind of grumbling. Those that can understand him, hears him grumbling about something about wanting to throw somebody overboard. He said it's been a while.
Been a while.
All right, so I
He turns and he
gentlemen,
looks at
I
you and
welcome
he-
them on.
He flashes a Demir symbol to you, and then nods his head.
I've got there's so many emotions in the past 30 seconds.
I tell him, have a good day, sir, as we all walk onto the ship.
Yeah, he just says, "Just keep your pets on a chain, all right? They're gonna get you in trouble."
I just kind of push Zorax along
As
and
I-
be like, just pretend you didn't hear
as-
that.
As I walk by him, I touch the sheath of my sword against his thigh. As I keep walking, I just brush along.
He just
him.
barfs everywhere. Sweat starts immediately beating, and he turns back at you, and he just like gags and throws up all over himself. You can see
Wow.
him
Keep
sweating
walking.
and breathing really heavily.
Just keep.
I didn't do
walking,
that.
Just keep walking. Just keep walking.
Do I know
So
that
with
Zorax
that-
did that?
I didn't do it. I'm telling the
he-
truth.
Do I
I
know that
did.
Zorax's sword did that?
Give me an insight check to see if it was intentional.
I have to roll deception.
Mm-hmm.
Is it deception?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Performance or deception? I think performance really comes into play of acting more than deception.
I guess it's fair. I could do performance. Well, would it be I'm hiding myself from him, so would that not be deception, or would that still be performance? You think?
Let me check.
I thought you just
whether you can
slightly bumped him on accident, right?
deception
Light
determines
of
whether you can
favors.
convincingly hide the truth either verbally or through your actions. This deception can encompass everything from misleading others through ambiguity to telling outright lies. Typical situations include trying to fast talk a guard, con a merchant, earn money through gambling, pass yourself in a disguise, dull someone's suspicion with false assurances, or maintain a straight face while telling a blatant lie.
See, a lot of that's more talking, though. The one line does say the way you act, but I don't know. That's what
Tim-
I feel like.
Well,
I feel like that needs to be
a,
segregated from performance because performance doesn't get enough uses anyway.
Yeah, it determines how you can delight an audience with music, dance, acting, storytelling, or some other
Acting.
form of entertainment.
That's the one. Well, regardless,
Acting.
it's a 23.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 21. Dang.
I got a really high base charisma score.
You think that you were looking for it, but you didn't spot any clues that would give away that there was any intention or that he did anything particularly.
Jared
I
just has a
noticed that you're
real
like eyeing me
queer
up.
moment of like, that seems familiar.
Zorax looks
So-
at Echo and realizes he's like eyeing him up, and I give him a wink.
So, as you guys are boarding this massive hover ship thing, there are gizmos and wires and energy circulating this thing. There are just so many things on this ship that you have never seen before. They even have indoor plumbing on this ship, which is something that is completely and utterly new to you. Usually back in Toril, when you take a dump on an airship, it just falls out the bottom. So this is a new experience for you guys. You're on this ship for a few hours, so you run into a few different people that are on their way to Precinct 4, I think is where we're going. Hang on a second. Let me
Where the Izzet
double
League
check.
is? Yeah.
Is that where that is where it's at, right?
Pretty sure.
There's so many. I know that. Yeah, there is the guild halls there. They don't call it that though. So during this, you guys are kind of just poking around. What kind of activities are you doing upon the ship?
Meditating.
What would Sorax be doing right now?
You're having a
Actually,
heated debate with your sword.
I think I would
True.
be talking to Zorax about how he's doing with giving up his sword.
That good, huh?
So, as far as I'm aware, unless I
So
wasn't
it's
made aware of
difficult.
this, is that the Izzet League was going to take a look at it, but regardless, I'm going to see the Archangels.
Unless
With
they can
my
come up with some ideas that prevent said Archangel visiting in the first place.
I thought the Archangels were going to remove the blight that has corrupted the sword.
Unless the Izzet League can figure out how to do it first.
I feel more comfortable if the Archangels did that.
Yeah, but you're also a man of trees, and he's a man of science, so of course you're going to have differences. That's just the way it is. But
The way the cookie crumbles.
I don't think...
I tell
Maybe-
Zorax that the sword's honestly kind of growing on me.
It doesn't, I promise. You will hate it the minute you obtain it. I wish many things, but the pros outweigh the cons. Currently. I just have to make sure it's fed once every 3 days.
And
Running out of
how
time.
long has it been?
Damn, how long has it been?
Well,
I think he has like
You-
another
you
day.
said- yeah, you said you had 3 days to go when I
Good.
gave you a day and a half of freedom. Right?
Oh,
And
so
it's
then I'm
only
good.
been about a half a day. Well, it's only been a few hours. You did 3 to 4 hours of travel. I guess I should have wrote that down. We'll say it's 4 hours to just get to the ship or to the airship area.
Right.
So that's 4 hours, and it took you at least 3 hours to go through the airport because it's the fucking airport and they make everything difficult. Then
What
you
time of
guys
day
got
is it?
held up. Huh?
What time of day is it?
It's we probably should I don't remember what time it was when you went in. I should keep track of that better.
Well, because
I
I
don't
know
think-
I don't think that was established in the first place.
Yeah. We'll say it's
We did have a
sun
long
is
trial.
getting low in the sky now.
I was gonna say I
Okay,
did
big
go
guy.
through an entire trial with this thing not being fed, so there is
Right.
that.
Yeah.
So it's at least been a day.
Yeah. So you're about into the next day then, and you will say it's
Okay.
currently in the sun is low in the horizon, but not down yet. Assuming it will go down. You've been here long enough, so you've gotten a pretty good handle on it. All the shadows are long around you.
So I
And
asked
I'd say about-
Zorax.
Approximately
What
2 more
happens?
days.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
2 more days. Okay.
Approximately.
And what
Assuming
happens
day and night cycles are the same here.
if you don't feed it?
Don't you know what that is now? Or
I
did
do.
we not discuss that in detail? Not you.
I
don't
do know
think
what
Echo
happens.
knows.
I know
Okay, I don't.
because it
Yeah, I was
happened.
gonna say, I don't remember what
Echo
happened in
doesn't.
the trial and what was brought out.
Well, what ends up happening is my life force is shortened horrifically. By a lot. It's because it
Okay.
needs to be fed. I just happen to have a strong enough soul, apparently, to survive it trying to kill me. Briefly.
So you have a lot of reason to not let that happen.
Correct. I'd like to be alive. Yes.
Sounds rough, swordsman.
I ask Merl, how long do you think this might take them to fix the sword? Do you have any idea?
I have no freaking clue, because this sword is a piece of work.
Yeah.
Merl, have you ever touched a sword?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You did. I remember now. Yeah. So, yeah, he knows how it is now.
Yeah.
Not good, clearly.
This is really getting
My
warm,
thought
this
was, hand it off to somebody, even for a moment,
They would
while
likely
they're
die.
working on it. Okay.
Presuming that I don't, or that I stop attuning to it, I guess.
Well, I won't say anything if you don't say.
Agreed.
So, as you guys are traveling over this, you're getting quite the tour. You do hear some rumors while kind of floating around on this thing. Give me perception checks, everyone except for Garmor. Garmor, you just hear from a smaller. I don't know. You're not. It might be a halfling. It's really hard to tell if she is. She's half something else with her lightly
I can't
tinged green
understand
skill.
Ravnican.
Huh?
I can't understand Ravnican.
Oh, well, that's horrible.
Ooh, that's a good point.
23.
So you pick out you pick out the word angel and demon in a conversation. Words that you had picked up during the trial. And a little bit of, wide-eyed stare. Give me an insight check.
Insight. Oh, there it is. Ooh. 29.
Her wide eye, you realize, is actually a bit of surprise and not fear. So whatever conversation involved, isn't what she expected. What did Merl get?
23.
So you've picked up a few words and that you've understood, and one specifically is explosives, and you will never not understand the phrase in a conversation.
I hear there was explosives.
Yes, you do. Apparently.
You look over and you see a clearly looks like a goblin of sorts. Its face is all like twisted and scarred with big giant ears and big nose and a huge underbite with sharp teeth. And he's sitting there and he's got all these little gizmos wrapped around his stomach, and he has almost like a single monocle on his eye.
Par for the course then.
I got an 18.
Okay. You hear.
Hey, Echo.
I got a
that guy
17, so I'm similar.
Hey, Echo. I'm guessing that guy over there is it. Am I correct?
Yes, you know that he's Izzet
Okay.
Echo.
Yeah.
Well, then, might be wise for us to making some acquaintance ahead of time.
Okay.
So
I'll
before
walk
we
over
get
with. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, no, you'll walk over with him. Before I get into that, I want to finish up with the perceptions.
Okay.
So, Austin, you overhear a conversation with what looks like a bulky cyclops, got one big eye, kind of smells kind of rancid. He says, Sergeant Irwin got a hold of something even the war worms of the Grove fear. I don't know what it is, but he sent one of them running just by standing there. He kind of continues, just, trails off a little bit.
Well,
And
that's
then
not good.
in Echo, you hear, it was the strangest thing. I swear I saw Niv Mizzet's head floating above Nivix last night. I wonder if it means anything. You see, and it's just a bulky human guy. He's pretty muscular with really tiny legs. Wondering how his tiny legs can hold up all of his muscly arms. So as you guys, did anybody want to act on any of that stuff that they heard besides the two that obviously are?
No.
I choose to stay put.
Because I feel like
basically-
I'm at the point where I understand that a goblin isn't talking about explosives is not weird.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go learn more with Merl for now.
Okay. So you guys approach this strange looking this goblin guy. He sees you approaching and he goes, "What do you want?"
Well, it seemed I spotted
say-
you a fellow man of science.
He looked you up and
I
down.
translate.
Yeah.
Science, huh? Everyone loves science. Unfortunately, most are too dumb to understand it, you know?
Tell me about it.
All right, well, I will. And he pulls out a big book and just starts going through this complex theories on arcane crystallization.
I interrupt him and I say, Merl, did you have something you wanted to ask him?
Oh, right.
Oh, before that, and you give me an intelligence check. We'll just say Arcana.
All right. That's gonna be
Merl.
Okay.
You know what? I'm also going to add a scholar die to that. Wow, 28.
So when he's talking about he starts reading through the arcane crystallization form, and you realize he's talking about the creation of these storage batteries of energy that can be created, and that the power comes from tapping into the mana of the mountains and mixing it with the mana from the islands and creating this kind of perfect balance of energy that can be harnessed. He does get into a lot of things that are still above you, but you kind of have an understanding of how they do this, and they use a sort of machine to channel the mana from spellcasters or from wild sources and force them into these glass-like batteries.
Fascinating. So my guess wasn't too far off then.
Not at all. Okay, no, carry on. Sorry.
Yes, we're on our way to the Izzet Guild, and well, you seem to like be a member, so I thought I'd make your acquaintance.
Well, a man of science, my kind of guy, or gal, or them, whatever you prefer. So, yes, I am on my way to the Izzet League. It's been a while since I've been home, so I'm super excited.
Excellent. Which faction within the league do you work for? Or
Oh, isn't it obvious? Pyrology, duh. And he points at a little sigil that's basically a patch of an explosion on his shoulder.
What?
Do you even have to ask?
I suddenly feel very unsafe.
Well, let's just say I'm not from around here, so I don't quite understand the writings and stuff. Hence, why we have this goo guy here as a translator.
Oh, what up? I'll tell you what. I just want to say thanks for coming and talking to me, a fellow science person. When you hit up the guild, head on over and look for my pal Izzet. You find Izzet, you tell him Aelin sent you, and he'll hook you up with a translator. Problem solved.
Oh, that would simplify a few things.
But as with anything, equivalent exchange. So make sure you bring something of value.
I don't think there'll be much of a problem.
Well, that's fantastic. So what's bringing you to the Izzet Guild, huh? I assume the other weirdos over there stomping around and speaking that strange language are probably with you, huh?
Yeah, for better or worse. But short version, we kind of have
Usually
a
work.
little item that we want to have examined first before we use it for another transaction, if you will.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Well,
Maybe we can formulate a hypothesis before we get there, eh?
Well, you could, but that might not be the healthiest thing, although that probably would interest you even more, I suppose.
Well, of course it would. He busts out a blank notepad.
Oh, this is going to be great. Taking
Hey, Zorax.
My head perks up as if out of a daze, as if I've had a very draining conversation. What? Oh, yes, hello.
We have a goblin here who wants to look at that pointed thing.
He wants to touch the sword, Zorax.
He raises an eyebrow. Are you sure? You
You
did
might
tell
wanna
him what happens, right?
He's a man of science.
No.
He wants to learn.
He shrugs and gets
idea.
up and walks on over. It's like, yep, man of science, whatever. He thinks about Merl and he's like, I guess that makes sense.
Garmor mutters in Druidic, bad idea altogether.
Probably.
And he walks on over and he says, and then of course I speak in the Ravnican common. I heard you wish to touch the blade.
He speaks our language. That's great. Why doesn't your science friend?
Magic. It expedites the language learning process.
So does technology. Anyways,
Correct.
what do you get to show me? I'm super excited. Does it blow up?
Well, your insides might blow up. And he puts the sword on the table. Go ahead. Touch it.
His excitement kind of drops a little bit when you say his insides might blow up.
I've seen many men vomit. Grown men.
A magic
to be the next
artifact, huh? Interesting. Yes. All right. So he pulls over this. He's got the satchel on the back. He flips it over. He turns it sideways, and a bottom shoots out of it and turns into like a tiny little like stand. And then he flips it open more, and it opens until he's got a small table in front of him. And it's got all these little gizmos on it. He flips up a side satchel that he pulls and just flips it right in front of him, and it opens up with all these little gizmos and gadgets. And he says,
Oh,
all
I
right,
gotta get one of those.
oh, yes, you do. I'm telling you what. Once you... Oh, hang on a second. Yoink. It's really hard to find the ranks. There's rankings for joining the guilds.
Hmm.
And there's a specific one where you can get this reward. I think I found them. Hang on. Just got to get to the right one. Golgari. Gruul. Is it? Okay. Yes. He says, yes. If you can become an independent researcher or a director, they give you right access to these things. It's easy. It's fantastic. You don't even need to get tenure yet. I ranked through it only took me about 4 years to get my rank, so I got it pretty quick. But most people get it around their tenure. But if you can hit that higher level, I even heard if you become a Scorchbringer, they might even offer it then too. But well, it's different forever. Anyways, let's get back into this. So he says, so what do we have there?
Merl the comment just to see if he'd be interested in knowing what a Scorchbringer is.
Well, the more I know about this guild, the better. So enlighten me.
You know that a Scorchbringer, Echo, are soldiers assigned to protect Izzet laboratories. As a Scorchbringer, they are given special tools, including a pyroconverger, to do their work in the defense of the Izzet property.
All right, I'll let Merl know.
Oh, I gotta get me one of those too.
Is it a converger or converter?
Converger, I think is what it said.
Converger?
Pyroconverger.
Cannon.
Okay, just want to be sure.
Yeah.
All right, so when we get to the guild,
Flamethrower.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
that's urgent. And also, where can I quickly find the laboratory of metallurgy?
Oh yeah. You can find that small ass lab down in the 10th district smelting quarters. Shouldn't be a problem. Just follow the smell. So he's got all these gizmos out. He's got all these gizmos out, and you start hearing lots of twerps, beeps, bleeps, clicks, swirls, all kinds of the beeps, the creeps, and the sweeps kind of coming from this thing. And he goes, oh my, you didn't tell me it was alive. Oh, this is fascinating.
Most people don't wish to know that it's alive.
What is... Oh, no. He's looking at these numbers. He's like, these numbers can't be... He looks at you and he says... He looks over at Zorax and he kind of lifts an eyebrow and he says, how are you still alive?
I asked
all right,
myself...
you should be dead.
I quite literally ask myself that question every 3 days.
Wow.
And I definitely keep a close eye on this process.
Yes. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Arcana. All right, that's gonna be a 25.
So as he's doing this, you can see that the tools he's using are breaking down the object into several different elements. Not only its metallic nature, but its arcane nature and its sentient nature. And while you can't understand all the little gizmos and what they mean, the one that has light and dark on it, and it's all the way black, is where he gives the "How are you alive?" statement. So clearly, it can tell that it's a dark element, that it's made of a metal from this plane, and that it is infused with a mix of angelic and demonic power. He says, my, this is most intriguing. And with that, there is a massive explosion off in the distance. And he said, oh, we're almost home.
Excellent.
I thought the sword
Those
was getting
guys.
mad and exploded. I was like, oh crap.
No. You look in the distance and he says, the smell of failure. And you look and he says, best part of waking up is the smell of soot in your nose. Don't worry. It's fine. They're not under attack. Just the best part about it, being into science is the failure. I hope nobody's hurt, though. That does happen sometimes.
What can I say? I like the smell of napalm in the morning.
Oh, don't. I'm more of an afternoon person, I have to be honest. But
I
but
see you
yeah.
like a good cup of coffee before you have the napalm.
I only drink the blood of my enemies and occasionally a strawberry yoo-hoo. So with that, there's a loud crunch. You guys have spent a total of 3 hours, or we'll do 2 hours. 2 hours on this ship, and it is docked with a massive tower. And you hear a dong, and then as it docks, you hear an announcement come over in Ravnican that says, "Stop Nivix. You have 10 minutes to depart before we move on. If you need to use the restroom, now is the chance. Usually the one in the lavatory gets a little occupied." And you see this giant Cyclops guy. I can never fit into that damn thing, and he kind of runs off the thing. He says, "Well, this is our stop. So
I guess so.
I assume this is the Nivix Tower. Welcome. I have some work to do, but I'm sure you can find somebody else to lead you along if you need."
Well, just point me to where we can find Izzet, and I'll be on my way.
Sorax also goes to reach for his sword. Is it safe to touch this again? To grab it? I don't want to ruin your table.
Oh no, the table will be fine. But I wouldn't say that it's ever safe to touch that thing, to be honest.
Sorax
just
grabs the sheath, and you see just like darkness emanate around his hand, and he just puts it back to his hip. He's like, it never leaves.
I walk out as well.
As you guys begin to depart, he says, "Yes, you can find Izzet in the metallurgy. I think is what I said.
Metallurgy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think
we walk off. I say in common, amazing. We actually survived the trip.
Day's not over yet.
He goes. In the distance says, "Oh yeah, I wouldn't say that till after you leave the Izzet area, eh?"
Yep.
Well, worse things have tried to kill me. This probably wouldn't be too bad.
So as you guys are making your way off of the airship, Echo, you actually have communication passed to you, and in the note it is relevant to Elturel. There's information being passed from Elturel to you saying that the Duke of Ravengard has been located and is in the middle of an ongoing war between two Grohl clans in the I gotta find this name of this precinct area because I can never. It's precinct 2, but I can never remember the name of this stupid place.
So he's
As long
having
as we
the
know
time of
it's
his life.
precinct 2.
What's that?
I actually do. I do relay this note.
So he's having the time of his life then. Good for him.
Why is he still there? He needs to get out of there.
I'm sure it's not of his own volition he's still there, Garmore. Let's be real here.
Let's not forget of Sylvania's report about sulfur in that precinct.
Ravengard has quite literally been dragged away by devils and demons and is still alive. This won't kill him.
Probably.
Probably. We'll with that right there.
What's the name of the precinct again, DM?
You should get to know the Gruul a little better.
You should get to know a fallen archangel a little bit better.
I think it's called the Trans Guild Promenade, but I'm trying to look for sure.
The amount of high devils that I've spoken to is far too many. It's more than one, and that's scary. I hate that it's more than one.
Yeah.
Why couldn't have it
That's
stopped at
funny.
one? Why more than one?
Why?
Also fought a demon lord in my time. That was great. Remember that, guys? Remember that, Merl? Where we got
somehow
stuck into-
survived that.
Yeah, got sucked into an illusionary realm where we fought a real demon lord. That was a good time. Can't believe we're alive. For a number of reasons, truthfully.
It's not a short list.
Remember the time we were taken in by giant flesh-eating wasps? We had to save a Holophant. Good times.
Yeah. Remember,
Can't believe we
Come
lived that
again?
one too.
Caused a few explosions to get out of that one.
Yeah, you're almost eaten alive
Okay.
by maggots.
So it's technically in Precinct 4 along the Trans Guild Promenade. That's why I was having trouble narrowing it down.
Guild Promenade.
Yeah, it's to the east of Precinct 4, the complete opposite end of the Nivix building that you're in.
It's like
That's
that.
where the Gruul kind of do their thing, are most popular. All the Gruul clans are kind of running around. All right,
not that
yes.
far.
So that's the information you've managed to get back in your travels. The Demir Network has fed you this information at a cost to Elturel, knowing that they share that information that they've required is useful, and they are working with the Boros Legion to do something about the walls. They did say that they are in an agreement or in a pact, or according to Rhea Mantlemorn, she is in talks with the Syndicate to establish trades and an economy with Elturel and the Ravnica through the Syndicate.
Progress.
With the Syndicate?
Yeah.
Why the
Or Zob
Syndicate?
control the money. They're the bank.
And you didn't warn them about them, so that's the logical next step without warning, right?
They need to be warned about the Syndicate.
Good luck doing that.
I mean, I could send another message, but we're much farther away this time.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell
All
them
right.
beware. That's the best we can do for now.
That's what we did tell them.
That's true. We did.
So
I
hopefully
thought you
they.
did warn them of
We didn't tell them
I
that
guess
we
we
were
didn't warn them
attacked. We just told them.
specifically about.
We told
We
them to
just
be
told them to
cautious
be
around them.
Cautious.
be cautious. Yeah, that's not the same. So that meeting proceeded forward since you didn't specifically say they attacked us. All right. So with that, you guys start heading down through Nivix, and the area is just imagine a giant laboratory that's just got lab rooms, and there's always, as you're walking by, things are just blowing up in these rooms. Crackling energy is letting loose. The power flickers on and out a couple times. Everything is just pure chaos here. But everyone is moving at a normal pace. You occasionally do see a couple goblins wearing red, carrying, these giant devices full of water that look like they squirt water. But you've never seen anything like it, so you're not 100% sure. You guys make it way. What's that? Industrial squirt guns, yeah, yeah, something like that. And where is? So, as you're making it through this is an impressive structure. It, crackles with, wild power of the Izzet, and clearly serves as their guild hall. It's filled with laboratories, testing facilities, and the housing is also in this. As you pass through the lower levels, you start to find like residential areas. And this is clearly the center of Ravnica's innovation. When all the little gizmos and things you've seen since you got here, you can tell that they came from this group of people.
I say nothing like walking through the Izzet district and have the risk of being electrocuted at any second. This is fun.
It is.
One with sarcasm, one with very actual excitement.
One sarcastic, one serious.
And Jar is just like, well, I don't know how I feel about this. I have avoided this place for as long as I could. And I haven't been struck by lightning yet. Let's not make that today, all right? Osif just says...
Please let it happen today.
Osif just says, I like the bright lights.
Good old Osif.
Touch it, Osif. Touch it.
So you guys make your way through this this complex area. It's very large. I mean, the grand size of this city is just huge. As you enter out of the Nivix Hall, you can see a variety of vehicles, I guess you would call them, with no horses pulling them. They are self-moving carriages. And you see a variety. You see, a human and elf, a variety of different folks that are sitting on the front of these. They got 3 wheels. They got 1 up front. They got 2 in the back, and it's extended pretty long to allow a crew to sit in it. Echo, you know that these are common vehicles to get around the Izzet area.
Well, I think it's a safe bet these ones aren't powered by soul coin, so I call it a win already.
Well, let's assume. Last time we were in Avernus, we had to make sure we, blood of innocence to get soul coins. Kind of a ruthless thing.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Hey, we didn't never do it. Surprisingly,
I tell them
never
these
actually
don't work like that. I don't exactly know how the soul coin ones worked, but I'm quite sure these work differently.
Well, soul coins. They're coins made from souls. It's coming in the name.
Yeah, you kind of put him in like
He just called you dumb in a sciencey way. How passive aggressive.
Thank you, Merl.
All I recall is we just dumped a bunch of coins somewhere, and next thing I know, the thing started to go. So,
I return the favor to Merl and tell him these work on the buzzy electricities.
Right, because they absorb the mana of the island and the mountains.
oh shit!
You're kind of caught off by his knowledge when he says that.
Damn.
What do they call? Are they old
See,
ones
I'll pay
ballet
attention.
twins?
Merle's quick. He's too quick. I might have to kill him later.
So the closest these things would look is they're arcane palanquins. Instead of the guy carrying them, though, they are riding on them. And Echo, you know this would likely be the quickest route or quickest way to get to where you're going, which currently is the Metallurgy labs, if I'm not mistaken, right? The Laboratory of Metallurgy.
Mhm.
Surely they have someone we can hail. I mean, I know this is much different from Faerun, but surely we can call somebody over to be like, hey, we need to be taken to this place.
Osif says,
Not that
Yeah,
we
we
have
can-
money to do that, I guess.
it's not snowing hard outside. What are you talking? What are you
Snowy.
talking about?
Have you ever
Yes,
hailed
he
for a
said there's
carriage
going to be
inside a
hail.
town? You know, like trying to gesture them to come by. Osif?
I pat Osif on the arm and I say, he's just looking for a ride, Osif.
Ah, me too. Me too.
All right. So,
So,
I call one of them over.
Well, assuming
You hail one, and
I guess we need to
when
know
you
the
do
prices.
that, a couple other people are waving their hands. You see a couple well-dressed gents, and the palanquins all ride past you to try to get to them. And they're in line as this gentleman with slicked back hair, a nice strong jawline, and 4 tentacles growing out of his back. And he has the legs of like he looks human, but from the waist up and from the legs down, he's got like backwards joints, like a werewolf or something. And then he's got tentacles popping out of his back. One that's holding a magazine, and the other tentacle is flipping through it. And he adjusts his little monocle. He says, yes, I clearly have my pick of the litter today. Oh, I will take that one. Gold is my favorite color. And he uses one of his tentacles to open, and that's you notice that you've seen some of the Simic around and are getting kind of used to these weird alterated characters, I guess. So after a minute, the guys riding on the front kind of let out a little bit of exhaustion, and one turns around and says, "You need a lift?"
Aye.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay. That'll be 3 Xenos per 10 minutes.
Actually,
How
what-
far is-
I was gonna say, how far is it to
It'll
the
take you about 40 minutes to get to the laboratory of the metallurgist on this
Okay.
vehicle.
So that'd be like 12
I-
times 4. That'd be 48. We don't even have that much money. No, we have Osif and Jar too.
We are, and then my money would technically be Ravnik, wouldn't it?
It would.
So we're good.
You said 3 per 10 minutes?
Yes, but it takes
Yes.
40 minutes.
Yep.
So,
Oh, it's only
Times
12.
4. That's 12 Xenos.
yeah,
Yeah,
12
what did he
Xenos
say?
per person.
12.
Yeah, per person.
He said 48. He was
No,
And there's
he
4
just-
of us, so it's
oh.
48.
He didn't
Hold
He didn't
say
say
per person.
He said for the
Oh,
ride.
okay.
Hold on.
would.
I got what you were saying
Okay.
after. Yeah.
Okay.
It took
Wait,
me a
this is the
second. I was
Metallurgy
like, my
lab
math's
straight
way
down,
off.
right?
Okay,
What's
too many
that?
Yeah, so
people
12.
talking.
I can cover that. That's fine.
They said the Metallurgy lab is down, right?
Yeah.
Is it like a straight drop?
Or is it like.
Unless you want to carry Osiv, I think we should just take the ride.
Well, you have to understand when it's down, it's you came out of the Nivix tower is not where the lab is at.
Right.
It's outside the lab. And everything is at different heights, but there's not like a direct path just to jump off. Though you could technically fly there if you wanted, but it would take you twice as long.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But time is definitely not on your side.
All right. Let's go then.
Okay. I'll pay for the trip then.
As you walk up, he hits a button and a little thing slides open, and it's got a little slot for your coin. You just chuck it in, and then you see this little digital timer thing fills up, and he's like, "All right." And so as you're driving through this, he says, "Y'all must be new in town. Well, don't worry, I got you." On the left, if you look, you'll see that those scorch marks are from the laboratory of Storm's new gizmo that's supposed to enlarge food. They were working together with the laboratory of continuism to control the energy to make it bigger. I don't know, whatever. They tried to make a giant cheeseburger, and what's left of that building is what happened. So there's still some work to go there. So maybe avoid the storms and electricity laboratory, as well as the continuism, because they're all kind of grumpy at the moment. As you're driving through and you see these tubes that connect overpasses, you see people just zooming right through them. You'll see to your left, you have the some of the residential quarters, and on the right, the labs. Is just easier to interconnect them. Not as efficient as the Nivix, but it gets the jobs done. Obviously, not everyone can live in the guild hall.
Question: what powers this vehicle?
Arcane crystallization. That's pretty much what powers everything here.
And my understanding is like it uses some mana derived from mountains and islands. I'm told is how it works over here.
To my understanding, they draw in mana from 2 specific sources and mix them to get a positive and negative charge. That's
Makes
about
sense.
all I can explain to you. All I do is drive my arcane palanquin. Not everyone here can be super intelligent. You know what I mean? Got to have some mundane folk like myself.
It's a burden.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the equivalent
all right,
of
so-
asking a taxi driver a highly scientific question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's all he is. He goes, he says, so as you look on your right up here, you'll see the laboratory of arcane geometry. They focus on doing the counter magic stuff and redirection. Super important for when we're under attack. We've found that it's much better to draw the attacks to the girl area instead of Nivix. So there's that. He walks up here, just overhead, this big, tall, circular pad up here. That's the laboratory of orientation. They do spatial and teleportation magic. They're okay at it, but 9 times out of 10, you come back. So they're still working on that. Wouldn't recommend it unless you need it. So yeah. And this kind of continues. What is going through your character's minds as this guy's rambling about all the different districts and stuff?
Gama's just wondering what the heck is this guy rambling about until Zorax paraphrases.
Yeah, he's just
Garmor.
like he's
There's
saying
no trees.
he's saying this shit, please.
Merl's
He's
taking
he's like trying to juggle like another conversation with his sword. He's like, for the love of Christ, I need help.
Yeah, why are we having this? Why are we having this instructional drive through while he can just get us directly to the lab that we need to go?
Hey,
We are
counter
going
fun.
directly to the lab. It's just a 40-minute drive. Do you not know how long 40 minutes is?
Echo
takes
is just
forever.
completely ignoring it.
He's just-
Echo's looking for like contacts in the area while we're driving.
He's like, oh god. Zorax is trying to hold sanity.
Right.
He's like, please.
All right. So the time is kind of not very exciting, but you get to the area that really is of interest. Is well, the last place on our stop here is the laboratory of gravitational inversion. And it's pretty obvious. He points to it, and the whole building is upside down. And you see people walking upside down on platforms as you're driving by. I'm going to be honest, that one's pretty cool. If you spit high enough, it goes up, but never comes down. It's hilarious. He says, watch this. He takes it and drinks the last of his drink. And then as he's driving by, he throws it out the window and it arcs and then falls straight back up. And then it lands in front of somebody walking upside down. And you see him just waving his arm in anger. See, I told you that's kind of fun. All right. We should be there in a minute now. You can tell as this little gauge is going down, it gets almost empty. You get to the front and he says, pulls up in front of this. The smell gets you first, right? The smell of melting and melting steel and metal, and it just fills the whole area with this smell. It's not exactly what you'd expect at a forge, but it's pretty close. And he says, and here's your destination, the laboratory of metallurgy. Smells kind of funky, gonna be honest. I don't think I like it. So my question is to you, am I waiting? You gonna be a while? Or are you gonna take something else home?
I have a feeling we're gonna be a while.
Well, all right then. If you need anything, here's my card. He hands you this little piece of plastic. It says, just tap on that number there. And if I'm available, it'll let you know how long before I'll arrive.
Fair enough.
You could wave down another driver, but don't you just love my personality? How could you not want me back?
Oh,
I got you here safe and sound, right?
Totally.
Right. All right. So you guys bust out of this thing and head inside. It's getting really late at this point. And it occurs to you, you don't really have a place to stay at this moment. You haven't really set up any plans. There are like hotels or hostels or whatever in the area. Echo, you know they're here. You haven't really spent a lot of time here. So,
Yep.
But they're around. Maybe somebody inside knows. So
I have been keeping an eye out for contacts. Can I locate one of them to ask a good place for us to stay?
Give me give me a perception check.
An 8.
Unfortunately, as you're poking around, you don't see any clues that would allude to a Demir contact agent.
Garmore is keeping an eye out for anyone suspicious that may seem hostile.
Okay.
Zorax is just tired and wishes to get to put the sword down.
21.
So as you poke around, the only sort of danger you see is something randomly exploding next to you. Like that seems to be the pretty constant in this area, is things just going kaboom regularly. On the travel here, you've heard at least 3 or 4. So, but you don't see anything that seems aggressive or anything like that. Merl, as you kind of jump out and take the lead heading inside, the door is massive and it just slides open on its own when you get close enough, and you see a big fancy desk with all kinds of glowing, lights and switches and monitors and cameras and all kinds of stuff in here. And a lovely half goblin, half something, tall and slender. Looks like a goblin, but is super thin, almost unhealthy so, and is really tall and has the face more beautiful than anything a goblin would have. And she says, Ah, welcome, strangers, to the laboratory of metallurgy.
Hello.
What can I do for you today?
Well, couple things. First off, I'm looking for Izzet. Alan sent me, and we're also here to have a certain artifact examined as per the word of the courts. Oh, you might want to translate that. Echo.
I got it. Yeah.
She says,
Does
"Oh,
it mirror you?
wonderful. Ursent is actually the current floor master here, and I believe she is got an opening in a few hours. Do you know much about the laboratory of metallurgy here at the Izzet Guild?
We
Mm,
have to
that-
wait a few hours.
Sadly, I know Jack and Squat, but I plan to rectify that.
Well, just so you know, here we spend our time and effort researching into smelting and forging, most often using magical metal known as Mizium. It is conducted on a daily basis, and it is dangerous, but not as dangerous as some of the other labs. Um,
Oh.
Damn it! It won't kill me.
says, but as
We're
I
not
said,
gonna get blown up today. Dang.
I can't believe it, guys.
Ursent Fireforge is going to be available. It looks like she's got an opening in approximately 2 hours.
Wonderful.
How many hours has it been already?
Since you started your
Yes.
trek, or just like here since you arrived?
No, since the trek. been about, what,
4, 3, 6, 7,
Almost 8 hours.
almost 8, just shy of 8 hours. Yeah.
Ah. So we have about
Hmm.
30, a little
Yep.
less than 30 hours.
All right, like I said, just as importantly, we got like a legendary artifact that needs to be examined.
Preferably before the
Whoa.
Archangels take it.
Well, that's wonderful. Shall I put you down for a meeting in 2 hours?
Let's go
Seems to be
find
a solid
some
good option thing
lodging
at
in
this
that
point.
time.
I could not understand a word you both just said.
I suggested we go find some lodging in that time.
You know, that's probably actually a good idea. We'll be able to rest and actually we'll have a place to rest, I suppose.
Right.
'Cause that
Anything
is
for
going
a
to become
fellow
an issue.
engineer doing it to pass the time?
What?
Yep. I feel like Matt was trying to say something, but I didn't hear it.
No, I wasn't gonna say something. I was just a little annoyed of the two people talking at once, sort of thing.
Yeah, don't make noise then. That's obnoxious. It's more obnoxious than them talking because that's a natural habit of people having a conversation, but your is not so much. That's just how conversation goes in a social environment. People talk to each other. I know they can repeat themselves. It's fine. All right, so you guys head out into the area and start kind of perusing around, and you don't really see so much hotels as something like Airbnb style, where some of the residents rent out some of their areas. So
we would only
after
need at maximum a day.
yeah, give me a investigation check to see if you can locate this area.
See if you can locate how someone blow up.
Is the talents, is it a D8 or a D12?
Yeah.
I forget.
D8, I think.
I rolled an at 20, so.
Oh, well.
He finally found that contact.
Yeah. Well, Bill, there you are.
I can't believe it took you so long. I don't,
10.
it was, no, it's a D12.
Is it? Well, I'm glad
Yep.
you know.
It's D12. Yeah, well, it only pushed it up to a 15, so it didn't really do me a whole lot. But that's okay.
Anybody else?
Yeah. I'm just like impatiently waiting for the 2 hours to pass for the good stuff to start.
All right. So
Yeah, he's not looking. I think it's just us three looking for now because I think
Like I'm
Merle
basically a
wanted
kid in
to.
the candy store, but being told to wait for the open sign to flip.
When
Yeah.
he said good stuff, I could just imagine Osif go, good stuff?
good time. So you guys poke around a little bit. You talk to a few different people here and there. You do, Zorax, you do find a couple opportunities, but none are big enough for the crew. Echo, you finally spot a Demir contact, and he kind of just ushers you into the back, and there's a safe house over this way, and you follow him down this thin alley between two buildings, with scorch marks all on them, and he says, "Don't worry, those are just for show. We don't want anybody, snooping around." Walks you down the hall, down the way, and presses a button, a hidden button on a trash receptacle, this bright one, and a door slides open, that leads into a set of stairs down. It's right this way. And as you're walking down it, lights kind of just pop up on their own, and you guys come into a small, 30 by 30 room that has everything you need, but there's not quite enough beds. The contact turns and says, "Brother, you can find everything you need in the closet. Doesn't look like there'd be enough beds for you, but you can find some cots, or at the very least, there's some blankets and stuff. They can sleep on the floor. I can promise you the area won't explode, but I can't promise the area above you won't. This is supposed to be a safe haven for our investigation. So when you're done, change the passcode."
Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Good. He walks out, and Osif says, "What's the passcode supposed to be?" I thought he just pushed button.
Oh, Osif.
Don't worry about it, Osiv.
So you guys have a place to pass the time and set up shop for a day or so.
All we need is a night.
It has everything that you need. It's got a giant steel metal container, and when you open it, a quick chill runs over you. Very, very cold, and in it you can see a variety of fruits and foods that are in this big icebox thing. It's got a strange looking surface counter that's got some knobs on it, and a strange device up against the wall that seems to be running reports of the current events in the precinct 4. Specifically, it's talking about the most recent accidents in which laboratories, and if there was any casualties. Fortunately, there hasn't been any deaths, but there's been numerous injuries.
Mm-hmm.
There's buttons on the side to interact with.
So all we need to do now is just wait. Got to wait the couple hours. Can't really expedite the process here.
Oh,
Nope.
so
Yeah.
At least we found a location to rest for a bit.
We may as well just stay here and wait out the few hours and then go back.
So what are you going to do for those 2 hours? Just kind of give me 1 or 2 lines. Start with Austin.
I don't know. I don't really got much. I was thinking maybe I had something like on my. Apparently, I have this thing on my person, in my inventory. It's just a coin, but I have a question mark next to it because apparently it was made note that it was not a normal coin. So I guess I'm going to inspect that for a bit. I don't know if you remember what it is, DM. You probably don't because I don't remember it. But I have a coin.
Say that again. Sorry, I was reading something.
I have a coin that's in my inventory, and I have a question mark next to it under a potion, and I have no idea what it is. So I guess I'm going to inspect it finally.
You have a coin. You have a coin
I have a coin.
with a question mark under it.
No, I have a coin that I put in my inventory that has a question mark next to it because I don't know what this coin was. It was special at one point, but I guess we just glossed over it the entire time.
Maybe it's a soul coin.
That's what I was thinking.
It might be.
Maybe.
First thing I thought of.
Yeah.
But I think he would have wrote that, wouldn't he have?
Yeah, because I feel like we would have made note of that or made the dot. So I don't know. It's a coin. I have it.
Give me an investigation check.
Why not? Let's do it. Spice things up. That is a 14.
So you spend a little time
Just-
poking around at this thing. It's got some intricate engraving on it. The style of the coin has like a flame on one side and a lightning bolt on the back. You start kind of rubbing on it and feeling. You kind of bite on it a little bit. It looks gold, but it doesn't taste like gold, I guess.
Mhm.
It's very strange. You play with it a little bit, and this is I hate that short rest let you figure stuff out. But 1 second. So I think identify magic should be a thing, or should actually be more important than something else. Hang on, I'm opening my notes to see if I can find anything.
I mean, I doubt I'm sure it was probably something buried in Avernus at one point, and I don't
Oh,
even
I
know.
remember what it is.
Do you really?
So, I do.
Oh,
it
wow.
is a coin of Wheel and Woe. So it's an uncommon, wondrous item that requires attunement. This coin has a flaming face engraved on one side, and the other is a clawed out face, I guess. The gods of good and luck are represented. Oh, Timora and Bathsheba. One for good luck, one for bad luck. As an action, you can flip the coin presented by either flipping a real coin or rolling a dice odd and even. If you choose to flip the coin, heads represents Timora, tails represents Bathsheba. If you roll the dice, an even number represents Timora, odd, Bathsheba. If the coin lands on Timora's face up, the next you are allowed to make one check of your choice with advantage. If it lands on Bathsheba, I get to impose disadvantage on one check or attack roll or saving throw. At my own leisure. You can use this feature once per long rest.
This is great.
Or
I love
recharges
this
at dawn. Sorry, recharges at dawn.
This thing's funny. I love it.
Yeah, I
So
don't
it's either-
remember grabbing this thing at all. Like, I don't
Me-
remember it, but I found it.
Okay. Well.
When did I even give this to you? It's in my
I have it.
Avernus. It's
Yeah,
in my Avernus notes.
I have it. I just never.
Yeah, when did we get that?
It had to have been when we were still in like literally Baldur's Gate. I don't think we were in Avernus when we had this thing. Like I think I had this for like 7 levels. I just never touched it.
And I had forgot about it because you never asked about it.
I never.
It was one
I
of
just
those,
like
let's deal with it later during a thing, and then it just never came back
never
around.
came back.
Well, that's a
Wow.
shame.
So okay. So if I get the good side, I get advantage on something I choose. It's like
Yes.
inspiration.
Basically, it's a controlled inspiration, but it'll obviously stack with your inspiration.
But if I roll
and
tails, you just get to impose disadvantage on me at some point.
whenever I
Whenever.
want, yeah.
I want to flip it.
Of course you did.
I gotta find a coin. I have a coin around here somewhere.
Here, I'll send you the text for this, so you
Okay.
have it.
While this is happening, Garmor pulls out from his backpack a half dome like plate with a looks like a 5-pound mound of dirt and crystal. This is his stone of controlling earth elementals magic item, and he
Cool.
just stares at it and just contemplates what he's been through these past few months.
It's been quite the journey.
Tails is bad, right?
I don't know. I gotta look.
I'll look at it. Hold on, it's fine.
Heads represents Tamora. Tails represents Bathsheba. Yes, Tails is bad.
Fuck. All right, DM. I'm gonna choose. Shit. You get to impose disadvantage on me whenever you want. For no reason other than you can.
Whoa.
All
All right. What
fuck.
about what about Echo?
Echo's just kind of sitting up against the wall, watching everybody else. Watching Zorax react to a poor coin flip, and Garmor
just see him go,
studying and Garmor studying some dirt. And what did you say? Crystal in the dirt?
Yeah.
Did
Okay.
Merl take any interest in any of the gizmos or anything in here?
Actually, I was planning on asking Echo to tell me as much as he can about how the magic works in this universe.
Oh.
Okay.
How much do you know about Magic the Gathering there, Will?
I'm gonna
Not a
hand
lot?
this
I
one
got it.
off to you.
Okay. So Echo kind of goes on this long description about how the power in this world is drawn from the land, and each the land represents the different focal points of energy. The mountains are fiery and aggressive, so they take on the form of a red energy, which people refer to as mana. The swamps are full of decay and death, so their energy source is usually black and dark. And he goes into the islands are, full of I don't even know how that works now that I think about it for the islands. The islands represent the water casting reflections and allows them to easily affect like illusions. Then you have the forests release this bright green power that's full of life energy that imbues the world around with plant life when it's available, which tends to be weak here on Ravnica compared to some of the others. You have this other mana, the power of the plains, and one that represents peace and calm. It takes on almost a clear whitish form. Then you have is that all of them? Did I miss one? Black,
No.
green, red, blue, and white.
All right.
Yeah, that's all of them. And it talks that each element is used to power specific types of magic. While others can be used, there are certain ones that work best. He talks about how the energy of the dark swamps and is great for decay and death type magic, while energy channeled from the mountains is great for evocation power and explosions. He says it's really good. That's why it's one of the core elements in the arcane crystals, is that it's full of releasing energy. And then that's a good one. Sounds like the Lantern Core. That's very, very similar, I guess. And he kind of touches on the little details. And You guys recall when you first got here, you noticed that your magic worked slightly different. It felt different. It's because you're not pulling on any individual source of energy. You're kind of just combining whatever your body can handle and channel and making it work. Which also means it doesn't seem, it's not affecting you mechanically, but it just feels different when you're focusing, especially for the arcane who are used to pulling on the threads of the weave. Instead, you're drawing in these surges of energy from different parts of the world.
So with that in mind, Garmor thinks of the essence of the red mana. He imagines a flame, and he casts the cantrip produce flame in his hand.
And it burns brighter than you've ever seen it burn before.
Strange.
Whoa.
Magic is weird. This is why I swing a sword.
I guess I'm kind of used to it.
Well, you were
That's
born
funny.
here, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. You can't imagine magic in any particular in a different way. All right.
Right.
Anything else?
I mean, I would imagine that would take a couple of hours to
Yep.
go through all the finer details of it. So
Osiv walks around and is just pushing stuff. He walks up to the thing that talks about all the deaths. He's like, no axe, no death. And he just starts clicking on buttons and it starts changing images. And next thing that comes up, it shows a battle raging. And he's like, yes. Now this is what I'm talking about. And you see this area looks like a war-torn area. Buildings, on fire, and Echo, you recognize the variety of Grohl clans that are fighting over on the eastern section of Precinct 4. You recognize that pretty clear. Everyone.
When
So while this
when sorry,
go ahead.
when one of the people comes running across the screen, literally like on fire, dying from it, pretty much melting, I look to Zorax and I kind of point at the screen and I say, that's what I was talking about when I said we have little pieces of hell here too.
It's similar.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is
Though
great.
Avernus was...
It's absolute chaos.
I know, isn't it great?
Oh, Osiv.
He's like, look at the size of his axe. And you see this guy with like an axe twice his size running around swinging it. And he's like, I must get me one of these. With just kind of a subtle glance, Garmor, you happen to just at a glance notice that one of the people that flashes up on the screen that is leading another group against these savages and is much more organized and is much more tactical. And at its front, you see the Duke.
Raven Guard.
Oh,
And Osiv says,
that's what he looks like.
yes.
See,
Wait,
I
what?
told you it'd be fine. Look, he's even got his own little army going on. See,
In that hellscape?
yeah, look at him go. He's never been better. I saw him get carried away, and look at him. Now he's doing great. I'm surprised.
You see on the screen somebody is climbing up and taking aim at him from the from an archery point. And it almost connects. One of his soldiers pushes him out of the way and takes an arrow. Next thing you know, a barrage of arrows comes out of one of the buildings towards whatever is recording, and it crackles and franks and then goes out.
No!
See, he's fine. He'll be okay.
For how long?
I don't know. How long have we been alive for?
That's not the point.
Are you saying we're
So-
somehow better than Mr. Ravengard?
No, that's not the point. El Terrell needs him.
That's a
So,
subjective.
is he our next
It needs a
stop
leader, not
after...
specifically him. What was that, Echo?
I was saying, do we need to rescue him as our next objective?
Well, assuming I'm still alive after the Archangel visit, perhaps.
Zorax like me first. So 2 hours ends up passing, or 1 hour and 50 minutes passes, and you guys make your way back to the laboratory of metallurgy, and the woman at the counter says, "Oh, welcome back." As you walk in, and the doors go whoosh, as y'all walk in, and whoosh, right behind you, he says, Lady Essent is Lady Ursent.
I believe it was Ursent. Yeah.
Can't read my own chicken scratch. Lady Ursent will see you in exactly 9 minutes, 58 seconds.
Excellent.
Well,
Wonderful. So you guys are just kind of sitting there. She says, where do you all hail from? I find
It's
it
kind of a
very
long story.
intriguing. And you kind of see her eyeball and Osiv. Like, yeah. You see him get a little red-faced a little bit. He
He's like,
does one of
"Oh."
those. Yeah. Oh.
no.
He pulls out his axe and grabs the whetstone and starts going to town on it. Starts
like,
out slow at first, and then he gets kind of aggressive with it.
He's like,
You
don't
gotta
know how to
break
handle
that,
it.
Osiv.
Oh, he's gonna break the whetstone before the axe.
Jara's just like, hey, Osiv, rein in your axe there, buddy. you're gonna grind it flat. With that, you hear a ding, and she says, she will see you now. And a
Excellent.
door just kind of opens. It just whoosh, raises up and disappears into the ceiling. Right that way.
Neat.
Follow the signs on the floor. And you see
hey.
he says the yellow signs, yellow
Mhm.
arrows.
Zorax looks over at Merl, and he pulls out the coin of Wheel and Woe. He says, "Do you want this? Please take it. We have had enough already."
Sure.
And he,
Damn it! Now do I gotta send that to him?
I hand the coin of Wheel and Woe to him. I'll just send it to him. It's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. It's
So
really funny.
you guys
It's
start heading
magical.
down
I
this.
swear, I don't want it anymore.
You guys head down this hallway, and you're following the yellow arrows that points to a large room. As you walk in it, there's some. This whole area has just got these intricate pipes and conduits just kind of running everywhere. You think of it like a LED light with the light just constantly passing through it. Those things are kind of everywhere as you go in here. And you come into a room with a big table, and at the end of the wall, or at the end of the room, sits a big, massively built, just monster of a woman, orc woman, who is standing there with big goggles on. She goes, "All right, what do you want?"
Well, for starters, Aelin sent me.
"Oh, that old dog. Is he keeping himself busy, eh?"
Yeah, and I guess Echo's saying this. He said something about a device that can help translate.
"Oh, yeah, I got something for you, but it's going to cost you."
It always does.
Well, what'd you have in mind?
Well, hang on a second. She turns around. She pulls out her hand, and you see this hologram pop up, and she starts looking at it. She's twisting it all, Tony Stark style, flipping it around, and you hear a tss, and you realize now the circles in the ceiling, There's like dozens of them. One drops down, and on it are all these little, like, they look like medallions, I guess. She comes down, she pulls one. Oh no, that one, you don't want that one. She starts fingering through them. Is this the one that shocked people? She kind of goes through some more hollering. Yeah, you don't want that one either. She starts turning around. She's going through. What about this one?
Well, you're the expert.
All right, this one we'll have to do, I guess. So this has got about an 99.8% success factor, I guess. But when it's wrong, it's really wrong. So just be mindful of that, okay? So
Better than 0%.
it's not free. Do you know what is more valuable than coin here?
Knowledge.
Research.
Absolutely. So tell me,
Correct.
what piece of knowledge do you have in exchange for this? And as she's talking in it in Ravnican, it's automatically translating to your native language to anybody. Not just one language, but as you hear it, it's any language. So if you speak Ravnican, Echo, it's just translating in Ravnican. If you speak Common, it's translating in Common. If you have a racial trait language that's native to your character, it speaks in that.
Druidic.
What is it? Druidic? It's in Druidic. I forget what Merl had. Merl's just a human. He gets Common. Sorry, nothing special for you.
I was gonna say she's starting to speak in the
Common,
language of the
Elvish.
angels.
Yeah, Celestial, right?
Yeah,
Ooh,
and I'm just
Draconic.
like,
I got a list.
Draconic,
Yeah, he
Druidic,
has a list.
Elvish, Sylvan.
An Infernal for me.
All right, so it is it's Infernal for you as your default language?
No Common is, but I also know Draconic, Elvish, and Infernal.
Yeah, it just does it in your native thing.
yeah,
So for races, they would usually start with their own language, right?
Yep.
right.
Anyway, I bought a book full of blueprints. Start flipping through. Which one do you want?
So as she's looking through this, she's giggling at some of your work. She's like, "Oh, wow, I guess you could do it that way." And she's kind of just berating. Imagine a young middle schooler, and she's basically just commenting. If she had a pen, she'd be making circles, red circles all over your paper, your work. And
Well,
she
naturally.
says, "Yeah, well, that's fine, I suppose." Yeah.
I do want to mention.
You got
keep in
anything?
mind-
You got it?
These
You
words-
got anything else? Because these are kind of
keep in
primitive
mind,
pieces of
I
work.
understand these designs may not be 100% applicable in this world because magic works differently where I come from.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, we're not from this realm. Well, three of us. aren't
Oh,
from
you're
this realm.
planeswalkers. Now that is some knowledge.
Now that's what people keep telling us.
That's
And
true.
yet we're not.
Well,
Are you not from this world?
Well,
we
Not the point.
That's
We-
exactly the point.
by definition, yes, we are planeswalkers. However, we do not like to call ourselves that.
What do you call yourselves then? Are you
Otherworlders.
mightier than the planeswalkers? Because
The
that's
violet-
impressive.
The Violet Vindicators.
I don't really know what I would call ourselves.
The
I don't
Violet
know.
Vindicators, huh? That sounds like a girl name if I ever heard one. And Echo, you know that that's not a compliment at all.
yeah.
Just so everyone knows, this chip basically has comprehend language within 20 feet indefinitely.
Handy.
Wow.
That's very handy.
That's a.
That doesn't mean you
valuable
can talk
piece of
back. It just means you can
technology.
hear it.
But let's keep in mind it is not a magical item. So it can be damaged, it can be broken. So keep that in mind.
Are we talking like Star Trek's universal translator device?
It's exactly what we're talking about. Except it's a Ravnican translator device.
I was just
An Izzet,
using a
an
reference.
Izzet translating device. There we go. Let's go with that. Izzet telecommunication. I didn't really come up with a name for it, just a translator, but yeah. But basically, it does the comprehend language ritual pretty much consistently within a 20-foot radius of it.
So does that mean they can only hear it, they can't say it back?
So
Because comprehend languages
when
only
somebody,
goes one way.
yeah, when somebody talks, it spits out what they're saying. So only one person can speak, but they can hear everybody. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
Is that right? It says
Yeah.
you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You also understand any written languages.
Yeah.
But you must be touching. It says you must be touching it. We're not going to worry about that. But basically, anybody can understand what you say, and you can understand anything that anybody else says. But it doesn't like affect everybody else around you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, whoever's got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But like we said,
Is it?
he says it's not free. So what would you like?
How about an item for an item? And I pull out the stone of summon earth elemental.
It's a big stone to be giving up here.
So yes. What does that do? Set it on that pad. And you look over and you're like, what pad? And she does some dialing just as you kind of look over, and it just pops out of the ground. You're starting to realize that the walls, the ceilings, everything has hidden compartments in it. And everything hides and pops up as she needs.
Basically, this thing can summon a earth elemental, but if you lose concentration with this item, the earth elemental will go berserk and attack you.
That doesn't seem as much like knowledge as it does a potent tool to protect oneself, I suppose.
I look at. I would like to say to Garmore, sales aren't your strong suit quite yet, are they?
No, but this is a magic item from our world.
I would
That
say
is
leave out
certainly
the whole
fascinating.
rogue side of it next time.
I'm sorry, what?
That is tempting, but I don't know if it's enough. She turns to Merl. What else you got? I don't know that I like talking to the walking tree hugger.
All right, then I put it back and walk off.
Well,
An edge,
I
right?
may
A
have
cliff?
some alternative designs for vehicles.
We do have some for that.
Now, if you recall, you do have a unique.
Let's talk about the red jewel thing that explodes.
Well, that's one thing. I'm specifically thinking the fact that you have the prints for a Kawath or Kawak machine. I forget what
Exactly.
it's called. Yeah.
Didn't Merl get practically let that Niv Mizzet guy take the blood crystal?
One
Yeah,
of
we have
them,
more.
yes.
One of them, but he's got more than one.
Oh,
Yeah. We harvested
You
more
think-
than one.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, I guess we hand over that blueprint.
Or I can copy it.
True. Can always just copy
Yeah,
down the
I'm
blueprint.
I'm trying to find that stupid machine. I can never find it when I need it. Anyways, she looks at this and she says, "Well, now this is interesting. This blueprint, you did it yourself. It's fine craftsmanship.
More like I made a copy, but yeah.
Oh, so it's not authentic to you. Why am I not surprised?
It's from Avernus. If that means anything to you.
No, not at all.
Hell.
All right. I think this will do. And she asks you to hold it out. She holds out her hand, and a little like radar thing like pops up and just scans horizontally and back. And then she pulls back, and there's a 3D rendering that she flips and starts pulling out and gets a 3D exploded view. And she's just like, this is fascinating. With some adjustments here and there. Yes, we can certainly do something with this. I'm
I think it'd be
excited.
good.
I looked to Merle. Have you driven one of these before?
We haven't had the
No.
materials for it. Now,
So
while you guys are all doing that, the real reason we're here and for the appointment is actually for this. And I pull out the sword, and I'm sure like the presence is felt immediately.
she says, "Oh my! Now
What a
that. Why didn't you start with that?"
Because he wanted
Well, you
to
don't
go
start
first.
off with a. Anyway,
She flips the coin over to Merle, and it basically is a disc. It's even got a little pin thing you can pin on your lapel to hold it in place. It's
Sick.
got a little button. You just click it. Boop, boop. She kind of
Neat.
explains how it works.
yep.
Push it on, turn it off. Very simple. It has enough. The arcane crystal in there will let it run for at least a year.
That's a
That's
long
a
time.
start.
Now, this being said, before you touch the sword,
Oh,
will-
I'm not touching that.
it's good. Some people are dumb enough to. So let's. It's a
She
forewarning.
says, "Go in there and put it on the long table." And then she just rotates her hand, and this glove of like energy appears over her hand. She rotates it, and a giant table appears with like all kinds of little gizmos and stuff that are over top of it.
Mhm.
Put it over there.
He unsheathes it and puts it on the table. Unfortunately, this is on a time limit. You won't have much more than a day for it. Because by that point, some Archangels will come down and steal me and the blade away.
I see.
Per the judge's orders, unfortunately for you.
You guys see Osiv kind of standing off in the corner. He's got a firm grip on his axe. You can see his face is a little heated.
He's like,
Osif, are you all right?
Of course I'm all right.
Insight
I've never
check.
been harder. Hurt. I've never been happy. I've never. My axe is firm.
oh,
Give me an
so-
insight check.
Oh, son of a 13.
He's excited about something. Maybe he's not feeling well. He could be sick. You're not quite sure. All the sweat running down his face, and his face is all
Been
red
standing,
under in the cheeks.
Would his stamina have given me an extra hint or two?
You got a
What
13. What do you mean?
Yeah, I
You
told
can't
what
ask
you would
that
know.
question.
He's probably just been standing too close to Shadowrazor or something.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
getting some disease. So all right. So as Shadowrazor is sitting over this thing, all these gizmos and devices, and she goes, "Oh my, this is interesting. Did you know this thing is alive?"
Yes, we're quite aware.
Unfortunately.
And she goes
Yep.
through a lot of the same spiel as the last guy. She says, there is an ethereal tether tied to you with this thing. Very, very interesting.
Ethereal
And
tether,
so, what is it you want me to do with it?
Ideally, we would like you to purge the demonic energies from it before the angels show up.
Well, I see.
I can't say Zorax is pleased with that idea, but it's better than the alternative.
This'll take some work.
I'm willing to help where I can.
And not die.
That doesn't say much.
Yeah, well.
Can
I
you
can
You
lift
do this
things, that's
within a
about it.
day.
So I think,
And
she's
I
kind of
imagine you
looking at.
guys don't get much interaction with heavenly blades, if you will.
Heavenly. Ha! This has got a mix of both demonic and heaven celestial
According
power.
to them, it was once an angelic sword.
Actually, I know exactly what it was. I can give you a quick history lesson.
Oh, knowledge, would you please?
I'm glad I can be useful. Or wait, was I not?
Well, you have your moment.
And I relay that this was once the sword of an archangel who fought in Avernus named Zariel.
Well, that's fascinating. You go through this whole tale, and she's just kind of engrossed in the whole story. And she's like, that's fascinating. I hope you don't mind that I recorded it. And she shows this little ball that's glowing with your voice playing back. And she like turns it around and it starts back over. Fascinating knowledge. And she kind of closes her fist and it disappears. She says, well,
It means
and you
nothing
hear
to
a
me.
beep, 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 beep. She looks. Analysis complete. She's like, oh, yes, wonderful. She starts looking at the numbers, and all you see is just all these digits and stuff scrolling across the screen, and she's just like, oh, my. Yes, yes, yes.
Are you
this
going to
is
ask me the
quite the
question how I'm
doozy.
alive?
No, it's fine. I've got this. She spends the next probably 10, 15 minutes. She says, I'm going to need more time. I'm going to need more help. We have to, and she goes into a scientific tirade about extrapolating the dark energy that's inside, and how it would require at least 3 powerful spellcasters to help with her science.
At least.
Define powerful.
How strong do they need to be?
Strong.
Makes
She
sense.
kind of looks at you. How strong are you? The fact
Well-
that you can fight off this means you must have some potent energies within you.
The fact that you followed off is actually part of the problem.
the fact that what?
The fact that you followed off is part of the problem.
Yeah, well, you know. Truthfully, I don't know how I'm able to fend this thing off, let alone do much else. I don't. Yeah, plot point.
Hang on. She goes, doo, 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 and this thing appears around your ear and in front of her eyes. And she goes, click, click, click. And you just see numbers scrolling on this thing over her eye.
It's a scouter.
Powder. Power level reading. Well, that's
I'm no
not bad.
magician.
It's a little over 9,000. The 4 of you together might work.
I am able to cast
this will be
minor
rough.
magic. That's
You
it.
should know. She clicks it. She's, oh, wait, hang on. Click, click, click. And the numbers scramble. I told you, not everything works very well. And she looks at your energy. She's like, ugh. Well, as she looks at Echo and Garmore and Merl, she says, what about that one? And she looks at Osiv in the corner. And it just says, you don't know what it says, but you just see like a single digit. And the thing is like, that's not going to work. All right, so you 4 will have to do.
Oh boy.
Combined with my equipment,
So,
his power level's 1006.
1006. Kick his
So I'm
ass now.
curious.
Number. What?
what kind of mana are you getting from us exactly? Because not coming from this roll and all.
Well, definitely black from that guy as she
True.
points over at Zorax.
Yes, I'm well aware of what color I am, thank you.
I can
Into
see
the
the
magic.
green aura that is surrounding that one as she points over at Garmore.
I mean,
Shocker.
I know of a spell that could remove his attunement to it.
Do that and I'll break your limbs.
It's only temporary.
And then Will, your character, does he have mostly evocation powers? I don't remember.
It would
Do you-
be
Like fire and elemental pot damaging, or
yeah, I guess it'd be more elemental because I did start off disguised as an elemental monk. So
Yeah.
right? But what are your like core spells like? That like 3 you think you would use most, since you haven't actually used very many of them.
I mean, yeah, there would be like fire and lightning.
Okay, we'll go
very,
with
very
the
frightening.
red aura. He says,
Yeah.
definitely the rage of the mountains flows within that one.
Interesting.
Though, what we really need is something to counteract the darkness.
Ah, so not me.
We
Got
need
it.
some. All right, so I have a plan.
Perhaps the
Just let me
Archangels
run.
would help
Let me
in that
run some
regard.
calculations. What's that?
Perhaps the Archangels would help in that regard.
Well, they already agreed to do it.
The only thing is they're gonna just take the sword away, and obviously this place wants it, so they want
I
as
thought they were
much
just
damage
going
they
to
can.
purge the demonic power.
We'll see about that.
There was some ambiguity in the words used,
Yeah.
because they will try
Because
to
they're
get. Yes. So he says, well, here's what we can do. And she goes through this complex thing. This intricate, she's got all graphs and all these details. I'm not going to go into it because I'm not that smart, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
There's, digital graphs and bar charts, and basically she's going to assign each of you a job responsibility.
Oh boy.
So, in order for this to work, we will have to draw out the dark energy by separating the other arcane energies bound within. I'm going to be honest. I calculate a 3.33 chance of success, repeating, of course, of success. The odds aren't good. And based on my
Perfect.
calculations, one of 2 things can go wrong. 3 things. 1, we're successful. 1, we're successful and you're dead. And 1, you're dead. So, the question is that a risk you're willing to take? According to, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your names.
I
Merl.
am Zorax.
I'm Echo.
Garmore.
So wait. Now are all of us going to die, or just me?
Yes.
I'm in.
I say we let the Archangels handle this.
Ah, so I see you don't want to risk
Yeah.
your life for me. Such a good comrade.
I say we
jeez, that's funny.
Well,
I say we
look
execute
at it this way,
plan
Zorax.
for science.
It's more
Ah,
Garmore trying to save your life.
You know. But I know him, so that doesn't work.
So, in order for this
well,
to
then look
work,
at
you
it
have
as
to
me
all
trying to
agree.
save your life.
I agree.
That's 1.
It's either that or the Archangels take me, so both ways I'm dead. So, fuck.
That's 2.
You don't know that in regards to the Archangels.
You're right. I don't, but I don't like angels. How do I know? I am one. So
You were 1.
I were one. Was
Was
one.
one.
Wow.
Well,
I
Zorax,
were one.
Let's look at your odds here.
Echo.
Oh, my odds
We
are
have,
bad either way,
uh,
so I'm raising my hand to go.
3.3% chance here.
Repeating, of
versus-
course.
Maybe repeating, of course, or a coin flip with the Angels.
I said this was more fun.
I'm in for both. If this goes wrong and somehow we all live, Archangels have me. It's what do you think? And if all that doesn't work, my corpse will still probably be taken. So I will see you all in the afterlife, wherever that's at. I probably
No
won't.
way.
If you
I,
die on a different plane, do you go to the plane where you would have gone if you died on your own plane?
Well,
Only
I
way
still
find
go to
out.
the. I still probably go to the feud, considering my religion.
I ask lady if there's anything else that could increase our chances of success.
Within
a
the
good
time
idea.
frame.
More power, probably. We need something that can generate more power. And the arcane chrysalis that I have here are some of the best around. I know because I designed them.
Hey,
What about
Merl, you
this?
still.
I pull
was
out
gonna
another blood crystal.
I was like, hey, Merl, remember those blood crystals we found back at Avernus?
What is that?
We don't know. Well, he knows. I don't know. I just remember it going boom in a cathedral.
Yep.
It's
It was
blood
great.
crystal
boom, a
from Avernus.
grin appears on her face. Well, I like booms. Might I hold on to that for a second and take a look at it, Merle?
Sure.
So you
I
pass
love these
pass it off
things.
to her, and she's holding it. Oh my! This is a lot of concentrated evocation energy. She rotates a thing on her energy gauntlet, and another thing falls out of the ceiling, and she puts it in, and it goes, and then all you can see is like a big bar as it just goes, and she's like, my. And she says, let me run some more calculations.
I'm
Rotates
getting
the
so much
energy.
mileage out of these things.
I can't. It's great.
Well, would you look at that? That'll bump your chances up to about a 56.87. Not repeating, of course. Chance of success.
So not a coin flip.
That's
A
better.
little better than a coin flip. Hey, now look. Maybe Garmor might join us this time.
And also, I'm an artificer. Magic items is kind of my thing.
So at this point, you guys have been here for over an hour going through this process.
Oh boy.
The sun
Oh.
is all the way down. It's dark. You can see the lights that are coming in here are all super bright. No windows, so you don't know that it's dark, but for the purposes of tracking time.
Well, I think it's time to start trying to purge this thing, I guess.
So, Dungeon
Does
Master.
everyone agree? Yes.
So, Garmor would ask what this process would entail because Garmor has the spell Enhanced Ability prepared. And so he's determining if one of the features would be best for everyone.
Which one?
That's what I'm asking you.
What this is going to entail mechanically is a skill challenge for each of you.
Okay.
As you are going to making a series of Arcana and Constitution checks, Constitution saving throws, in order to absorb and separate the raw power that's inside of this. And then it's going to require some wisdom saving throws and such from Zorax as he is bound to the blade.
It's gonna be great.
Unfortunately, Enhance Ability only works for checks, not saves.
Well, that's great. Arcana.
Still a check.
Still a check.
Does anybody else have any other spells or anything that might be of use? Now's the
checking.
time to be like, hey, will this work?
I
I
have.
mean, I
I'm
could
checking.
use. I mean, I could convince Zorax that that the effects of Greater Restoration could temporarily sever his attunement.
But the point is, I want to keep my attunement.
You can always regain your attunement to it later.
You don't know that. What happens if something goes wrong? You're not the scientist here, so I'm not taking your possibilities for granted here.
And yet he has more
You can
knowledge
take
of
your
a
flat Earth bullshit and go. That's funny.
and yet he has more knowledge of a 5th level restoration spell than you ever will.
For now, actually.
Somebody get
Paladins
the
do
fire
get 5th
extinguisher
level.
because that was a sick burn.
Paladins do get 5th level, though, at some point. So
Like
that's
level
actually
20.
not 17.
Yeah.
Maybe even less,
Oh,
actually.
excuse me, I was off 3 levels. You're actually getting pretty close, though, I guess.
Yeah, so that's great.
Like, fuck, Justin.
Yeah, so...
Oh,
Also, that's
jeez.
not really a sick burn because you chose a specifically higher spellcasting class, and I know you tried to murder a man in broad daylight as a... What are you? What's your alignment again? Jackass? Yeah, you're not good.
Excuse me.
So...
Technically, it was
That
in
is
self-defense.
You tried to murder a man in the syndicate in broad daylight. He did nothing wrong at the time. You just wanted to kill him. There
It was
no
an
such...
It was an intimidation to get information out of him.
Okay.
I do not recall.
Hey, Matt. Hey, Garmore. Villains don't see themselves as villains.
Okay. I can choose to cast Intellect Fortress.
What does that do?
I don't know what that does.
Actually.
Well, unfortunately it's concentration, but less than an hour. And for its duration, me or one willing creature has resistance to psychic damage as well as advantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws.
That's
That
pretty
is
good.
Cool.
That'd be
Very
useful.
handy.
That one's useful.
Does that require
yeah.
concentration?
Yeah, that's the downside.
So you can
Yeah.
only put it on one person then.
Yeah.
But that helps.
But who would
Okay.
be the most beneficial to put it on?
Well, for the wisdom save, it would probably be Zorax.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I think I'm the only one
Yeah.
needing the wisdom saves.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like protection from evil and good. I have.
Plus, you have your paladin crap buffing everything too.
Oh, my hair is
Yeah, I
so
have.
bad.
Everyone gets a +5 to their saving throws around me. Which I mean, it's 20 foot for the radius, so it's fairly long enough.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
no matter what,
What
I have
about
something.
Echo?
Yeah, I don't have
I-
much else after that.
I really don't have
Do
anything.
you only have
that'll-
spells that blow shit up?
Well, no. I have spells that allow me to
Escape
sneaky
after blowing
stuff.
shit up.
Yes. exactly.
All right.
I don't really have any booster spells like that.
Yeah, it's fair.
That's unfortunate.
Sounds
Well,
like a
it's up.
sorcerer.
Garmore has a spell that he thinks would help. If Zorax is willing to accept it. If not, the only thing you got going for you is Merl's spell.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. Again, the only thing else that I have is like absorb elements, but I know that doesn't help me here because I don't think I'm taking electrical or fire damage. So
And if
You
I
know.
cast enhance ability at a higher level than its base, I can choose more than one person to have the same effect.
that's actually really good.
That's a
I
good
didn't know
idea.
it could do that.
Yeah, it just can't be multiple different people with different effects of the spell.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
it has to be the same effect.
It has to
Yeah,
be the same effect, but with multiple people.
I can make a magic circle. That's pretty cool.
I found
I don't know if
something.
it's gonna help me. You found something?
I found something that will protect me.
Hey, that's good.
But-
Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
That's still
Pretty
good
much.
though.
I don't know if it will come in use, but if it does, it will probably save my skin.
You're safe than sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing really. No. I have my base paladin stuff, which gives us all boost to saving throws, but it's good, but that's about it.
Yeah, sounds like at the very
Another
least,
hour
Intellect
has
Fortress will help.
passed as you guys are lining up and strategizing your plan.
And I'm guessing protection from energy is not going to help us too much.
What does protection from energy do?
For the duration, 1 hour, also concentration. The willing creature gains resistance to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder.
It's not that bad.
She goes, well, a lot of things blow up and lightning strikes happen a lot around here, so there's always a
I'm guessing
chance.
this ritual.
I'm gonna say I have absorb elements for myself, but I can't do it for other people.
All right, I'm going to All right, my plan is to use enhance ability at 4th level, giving
Okay.
Fox Cunning to Garmor, Merl, and Ursint.
Okay. Alrighty. Everyone casting all their spells and keeping track of what you got, because we're about to get the ball rolling.
Yeah,
I am 100% casting Intellect Fortress on Zorax.
Okay. How does
So
a spell like that look? Like,
Yeah.
good question, actually. For a man
like
using...
you just get like an arcane helmet that goes over your head.
Yeah, I get.
Just makes
I'm
you
like,
a little bit smarter and a little bit wiser.
I get strapped into a chair and the helmet drops down on my head, and I'm like, here I go.
So she says, okay.
So
Well, now that we've got a plan. Go ahead.
Can I? Okay, I cast Tasha's otherworldly guise on myself. So you guys actually see spectral wings come off my back after I cast this.
Neat.
I
What
used
does
to
it
have
do?
wings.
So if I go by the upper planes, it will protect me from radiant and necrotic damage. It will protect me from the charmed condition. I will gain a +2 to AC. And then there's some things for helping my attacks, but I don't think that plays into this.
That's a bomb ass
Okay.
spell. I like that.
That is dope.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Let's get the party started.
Here we go.
So she
Bang,
says,
bang.
first thing, I'm going to need you. And she looks at Zorax on the table. And you need to be holding the sword.
I sit cross-legged on the table and I put the sword right in my lap and I just close my eyes and I take a deep breath and I'm like,
in this giant
Here we
freaking James Bond like death laser kind of just thing comes down and 3 of them surround you. He says, now I know they look terrifying, and they are, but it's necessary.
it just
So,
shrugs.
You're gonna feel a burn, a sizzle, and you're probably gonna want to vomit. But more importantly, you're gonna feel like your soul is being ripped out. The rest of you, grab
No, I
onto
actually
one
know
of
that
these
feeling.
devices.
Strangely.
I grab
What this is going to do is going to take your arcane power and use to funnel into this to help overpower the darkness. The hope is that we can use your arcane energy to quarantine the darkness into a single location, into the hilt of the weapon. This will make the tether of the connection weak enough that we can sever it and then attach it to this. And she holds up a crystal that looks a lot like the ones that have been storing all the other energy that you guys have been seeing.
No.
And see if we can store it into this like we do with our arcane crystals. So I'm going to be honest. Those things you're holding, you got big handles for them. You're going to feel like the life is being sucked out of you. And if you're weak, it may very well be. So I'm going to give you one last opportunity. Based on the calculations, system run diagnostic. Evaluate spell allocation. You have a 66.4% chance now of success.
Dungeon Master.
Yes.
So I have one of the optional talents called Multitasker, which allows me to concentrate 2 spells at a time. And I would like to to cast Guardian of Nature on myself.
Okay. What does that do?
It has one of 2 options that I can choose from. and I'm going to tell you which one I'll be using. It is called Great Tree. Your skin appears barky, leaves sprout from your hair, and you gain the following benefits. I gain 10 temporary hit points. I make Constitution saving throws with advantage. I make
That's
Dexterity and
Ooh.
wisdom-based attack rolls with advantage. And while I'm on the ground within 15 feet of me is difficult terrain for your enemies.
That
Nice.
extra to con saves will help you.
She goes. She starts rerun analysis with new input. Finish. New output. Chance of success 71.2%.
Still really good odds.
Remaining chance of failure 28%.
I dealt with worse odds.
Death potentially imminent. Continue with experiment. Yes. Are you guys ready?
All
As
right.
ready as we'll ever be.
So, remember, Austin, I'm putting Intellect Fortress on you, so you'll have advantages for all the
The
mental saving
soft,
throws.
yeah, got it.
The mental saving throws.
Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Let's get it.
Plus your +5 boost that you get from yourself.
And everyone else gets that too.
And I, of course, get the benefit from Fox's Cunning for intelligence checks, which will be
Yeah.
helpful.
All right.
Think
Let's
we're ready.
do this. So as she says, all right, let's do this. She pulls down her goggles, throws a switch, and multiple colors of arcane energy just leaps from these devices, and you can see it crackling and rushing into your body. Your vision dims and you struggle to clear it of the clinging murkiness that seeps into the edges of in your narrowing tunnel of your sight. Crimson clouds crowd your sight, reducing it to small single tunnel-like points amid obfuscating nebula of pain threatening to overwhelm it entirely. Everyone give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, Constitution. Okay.
You got a +5. That's all I can give you, though.
So I got 30. Got it.
That is 18 for me.
19.
22.
It's all good so far.
So if you rolled less than 20,
Just kidding. Bye me.
you lose a third of your hit die, and so a third of your hit die. No, I'm sorry, it's not a third. It's 3 hit die. The energy is pouring through you guys. Now I need. She shouts, "I need you to focus. Channel the energy. Push your power into the channeler." I need everyone to give me an Arcana check.
Shit.
I make these with advantage.
Well, that's a 3 from me, guys. I ain't doing so hot.
28.
17.
Those powerful
19.
lasers are really fucking me up.
All right, so as you guys begin to channel the energy, the crackling power is being sucked out of you. You can feel this kind of struggle between light and dark. And Zorax, you hear the screaming in your head. "Now, what are you doing, fool? I will tear you apart." And you're as you concentrate on this inner wound, the screaming, you try to push through it. It's a stunning pain that you just can't get to leave your mind, Zorax, and you just start to tremble. You lose 4 or 3 more hit die.
Oh boy. So I have 6 hit die
She
now.
says, "What are you doing, fool? Focus!" She's yelling at Zorax. The energy is twisting and pulling. You see, think like the the Ghostbuster strands. The energy is beginning to leap out from around the different channelers and start to kind of whip and twist and then go back into the sword, rushing into Zorax. Zorax, I need a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, at least I have advantage on this one. Ah, there we go. 25. My will is strong.
You feel the essence of the sword digging at your mind, and you fortify it, and you feel it as if it runs into a solid steel wall in your mind, and it screams. You can hear scratching on the other end. Your brain is just resonating with this defense. He says, "You dare black me out? I will take your soul." And with that, you guys are like that for an hour as this constant energy is being channeled through and it's draining you. You lose 3 spell slots. Worth, you lose 3 spell slots worth up to 4th level. So you can lose a single 4th level spell slot or 4 first level spell slots. Or 2 second level, etc. Let me know when you run out of spell slots. I'm going to need to take some medicine, man. My head's killing me. The intense pain pulses through your arms, shooting into your hand, and you're clenching in agony. The energy slips through your mental and physical defenses, and a shooting pain causes your legs to kind of spasm from this torturous pain. She's like, hold! Okay, what'd you guys get?
For con saves?
You guys did that? I need another con save.
Guardian of Nature only lasts for a minute, so I lost my advantage on con saves.
That's unfortunate. Well, at least you got it on the first one.
But I still have inspiration from the last session that you gave me.
That's true.
17.
It's not looking good for you.
Yeah, well, even though I have a
19.
+7 to con, 20 is a high bar.
It is. But luckily, the more they succeed on Arcana checks, it goes down every round.
23.
All right, 24.
You say that,
we
but they
flipped
made
this
it.
time.
So, yeah, they're at. So the new DC is now 18.
Yeah,
Just under 1.
It'll go down by 2 every time they succeed on the group skill challenge. So the DC is 18. If you missed it, you lose 3 more hit die.
What happens if I run out of hit die?
You get levels of exhaustion.
Great. I'm not there yet, but I'm close. It's feeling good, guys.
Yeah, that roll that I got was with DM inspiration.
Nice. The agony of the world suddenly the world around you suddenly becomes a kaleidoscope of agony as this thing feels like it's sucking out your soul. She yells a command, and through the agony she shouts, "Refocus, aim, channel your energy to the pinpoint darkness. I know you can see it. It's impossible to miss. Push out the taint."
Oh,
you know what? Now I see why they're going to change the word to corruption.
Yeah.
In the new Wheel of Time book or series. Because it's called, the Dark One's Taint. And they're just like, we're going to change that.
Yeah. I can see that.
Makes sense.
All right. I need Arcana checks from everybody.
Please. Let's do it. It's another 3.
Do we still have the enhanceability effect?
It was an hour went by.
No, I don't think your spells last that long.
Enhanceability lasts an hour.
Oh, then you would still have it for this one, yes. We'll let it last 2 rounds.
Okay, 29.
Echo got a 6.
19.
Oh, no.
I got a 3. Fuck.
If you got less than a 16, you lose 4 levels of spell slots again.
I can handle that.
Once again, you decide. Is it 1/4 level or 2 or 4 1 levels? That's up to you. Makes
What
no
about those who
difference.
succeed?
You only lose half of that amount.
Excuse me.
Oh.
So that's 2 levels.
Also, we do lose some spells then if we do succeed.
Yeah, I didn't make that clear earlier. I apologize.
Whew.
It's you lose this amount or half as much on a success.
Okay.
So a moment of unendurable pain causes you to black out for just a moment, Zorax. I need a wisdom saving throw as there is a cracking dent in your mental armor.
21.
As the crack and dent begins to open, you can feel the darkness, the corruption seeping through like a zombie's arm reaching through a broken door as
How
he's
hard did I
reaching
have
and
to
scratching.
fucking roll?
You quickly force up and force another and replace it. Right behind that one, another barrier appears, one made of solid stone that just kind of dissipates the arm that's blocking it as you refortify your defenses. That's not bad.
Did I
I
succeed?
know it sounds bad.
Is that
but
a
yeah, you did.
success?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a success. You're doing okay.
That did not sound like a success for me. I was like, oh my god.
Well, I did say you put a new barrier up, right?
Yeah, but it still came through. I was like, did I fail? Like,
Yep,
No, you
and
got
don't forget
it.
Intellect Fortress.
I
You can make
did.
the whole
I
seat,
used it.
but you only need the edge.
The spreading, yearning ache almost starts to feel good at this point to you guys. It reminds you that you still yet live and are not dead yet.
That's sad.
She
We're
says,
not doing well.
You're doing it, you guys. At this point, the energy, the bounds of energy are becoming a little bit more controlled at this point. Only a few are lashing out. You see black marks are lashing as it bends out and smashes into the wall, and a couple lights get blown out as the chaotic energy from your channeler that's drawing your energy into it is starting to lash out with a few hiccups here and there. She says, focus! You're not going to let them die on us, are you?
I'm pulling my weight.
As am
Tortured
I.
by another hour passes by of this as the torture by the prolonged intensity of this insufferable pain, you yearn only for a moment of release. I need Constitution saving throws from everyone again.
Oh my god, I got a 20. Thank God. Jesus Christ.
24.
17.
29.
Congratulations, everybody. We did it. We made it through together. What was
The pain suffuses your body, spreading deep into every muscle and bone in your body as the energy continues to be sucked out and it repels back. Your muscles are contracting and expanding, but you hold firm. As you can see now, a dark energy that is engulfing the sword is starting to move up towards the hilt. And has clearly been drawn out of Zorax. You can almost swear you can see a slither of shadow that connects Zorax to the blade. It's ever so slight with the chaotic lightning flashing in all directions. I need Arcana checks from everybody.
And I've lost the enhance ability at this point.
Yeah. Holy shit, I got a 19, guys. I rolled a straight 19. Let's get it.
Ooh. I'm going to use... Good thing, too.
Well, at this point, I could use
29.
I could use guidance on myself at this point, could I?
Requires concentration, right?
Yeah, but I've lost. Yeah, but my concentration spells are done at this point.
Well, there you go then. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Wait,
I got a dirty 20.
does that take an action or a bonus action?
It's an
Because
action.
your action's being consumed at this point to
Okay, never mind.
do this. But you would still have bonus action powers you can use.
Yeah, it's an action, so no.
Okay.
My total is a 9.
So
I lose 2 spell slots.
spells worth 3 total levels, or half as much on a success. I think you're the only one that failed, Garmore.
Okay.
Wait, how much we fell by?
Are we allowed to
Are
know
you
that?
asking me?
Yeah.
2.
I'll use Slap of Genius then, so he'll succeed.
Okay, well then it's just 1 spell slot then.
I'll use...
Now keep in mind, if you run out of first level spell slots, then you'll probably have to use a higher one.
Yeah.
The in your mental mind there, Zorax, the torturous scream and bellowing for, "Do you have any idea what I've sacrificed for you?" The effects in your mind reverberate through your body, threatening to paralyze your very limbs. Through the paralyzing pain, you struggle to remain upright, and you begin to lose all the feeling in your body. Your tongue starts to talk like this. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
This is without Intellect Fortress. Here we go. 13.
Both of your barriers that you formed in your mental mind shatter as the shadow begins to reach. And then right at the same time, you all hear her, "It's breaking through to him. Come on."
Dang it, Zorax, you have one job.
I succeeded every other time.
Pulses of pain numb everything around your body, leaving you unable to feel anything. This might be a good thing. All right. Round 3.
So what is the...
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was gonna say if I have like anything to do with that, but nah.
If you think you have something, basically it's you have to have so many successes on your wisdom check by the end of this before so many failures.
Right.
So you basically just have to get a higher wisdom save is about all you can do. Unless, I don't know that there's anything.
I don't know anything either.
Yeah,
Not as a bonus action anyway.
right. So on the next round,
Another round of con saves.
as you guys are, go ahead and give me Constitution saving throws.
God fucking, I got a. It's an 11. No, not even an 11. It's an 8. Great.
11.
I rolled a
29.
nat 1.
Killing it on these con saves.
Well, this is the first one I botched altogether.
Could I use my bonus action to cast Healing Spirit on Zorax?
What is Healing Spirit going to do exactly?
Does that do just heals hit points?
It just heals hit points.
This is hit dice that I'm losing.
Yeah, he's not losing hit points, but I'll tell you what. If you do that, I'll allow him his next save to be reduced by one hit die. So if he would lose 3 hit die, he'll lose 2 instead.
So,
To
as
reward
an
the use of the
FYI
slot.
for the DM, I had now because we were losing 3 on this one, right?
Well,
I have no hit
see
die.
what I roll.
Okay.
I keep rolling. I roll a d6.
So I failed almost all of these except for 1. So
Which is surprising. Aren't you a paladin?
I have a
All
plus 7.
Aptitude.
Yeah. I did set the DC kind of high to start with, but it's gone down every round. So
All right, I'll be burning human aptitude as well as a flash of genius. So that'll make me succeed my con save.
Okay.
That's good at least. These people are going
And
to survive. It just means next round, basically, I'll be starting to suffer exhaustion.
Healing Spirit lasts for a minute too.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what I'll do.
I had 12. Now I have 0.
Yeah. I don't know that. I will grant him advantage on his next con save if you use that spell. It's the only way I can think to make it to work, since it technically only heals hit points.
Yeah.
So, everyone lose. If you failed the save of the DC is now 17, you lose 2 hit die.
Oh, so I still have 1. Let's get it. Ooh.
A building pressure begins to surround you. Your bones feel like they're going to crack underneath this arcane pressure that's building up. Give me an Arcana check.
All right.
Natural 20. The gods have blessed me.
16.
Great. Good job.
22.
So I lose
8.
a certain amount of spell slots.
All right, so it's 2 spell slots are lost for failed and 1 for a success or on a success.
Yeah.
What was the
Um,
DC?
What was the DC?
16.
Oh, I beat it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Every time you guys do your skill checks, if the majority wins, the DC is slowly going down as you're getting, you're understanding the process better. You're getting better at harnessing it and focusing it on your goal.
Well,
Well,
I'm
right.
out of first level spell slots.
Same. Being a half caster and all that jazz.
I'm a third caster. Think how I feel.
All right, so Zora, so you guys are fighting this stomach churning nausea as you try to keep a focus on following Essence voice as she's giving the commands. Now it's gotten to the point where she's giving more precision commands. Come on, fellas, do it. Push it back. Push it back. I need a wisdom saving throw from Zorax.
19.
Nice.
Is that
in your
guess I'll
mental
figure it out.
barrier? The blade is screaming and yelling into your mind, and you belong to me. You belong. And as you do that, you reinforce your mental barrier. But instead of putting up a barrier to block it, you form a cage to try to trap it. And it smashes into the cage and starts railing this dark energy in your mind like a caged animal.
Whew. You know how many times I've been possessed in my life in D&D? A good plethora. This would not be the first, and I sincerely doubt it will be the last.
A shield
Didn't
comes
you
to
kill
mind.
all the players one time?
Yeah. While we were underwater.
Yeah,
It was
I think
pretty
you kicked their ass. It was
brutal.
brutal, yeah. That was a playtest of an adventure, I think.
Yeah, and
all
I
right,
killed
so
everybody.
you're beginning to have difficulty concentrating on anything but the pain that is pulling and tugging at your body. You feel like it's being torn apart as you hold on to this thing. Crackling energy is leaping about, smashing into the walls. There are scorch marks everywhere. There's gouges in the floor. As it's all dancing and rushing into the sword. You can see now that the darkness in the blade is almost up to just the hilt. And she goes, "You're almost there. You've almost there." I need Constitution saving throws, everybody.
Before I do that, I have a question for the DM.
Sure.
Could I use a bonus action to, while still holding the device that Garmor is holding on to, could I wild shape into an earth elemental?
What do you hope to gain from that?
It's con score, probably.
Con score and condition immunities, which is exhaustion, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, unconscious.
It's a pretty good one.
I'll allow it.
All right, you for those who could focus past the pain, you see Garmor begin to have a stony appearance as he enlarges himself, and you now see an earth elemental, what once was Garmor.
In the back, you hear, "Holy hell!" Almost it.
And does a
What the hell
17
is that thing?
Does a 17 save?
Oh yeah, do
yeah.
I have advantage, right? Because
Yes.
of the healing word. Oh my goodness, thank God. That's I succeed. Okay. Oh my God.
Ooh,
I succeeded wildly.
17.
I rolled a 6 that time, fellas. Did everyone get it?
I succeeded.
What's the target
17.
number?
Success.
Okay.
With 17, I'm good.
Yeah,
I
it's
naturally
16 now.
rolled a 17. So
It's down to the lowest AC, which is 16.
Okay.
I got over a 30.
Yeah. So
oh my God. Why is your con so high? Oh yeah, sorcerers have proficiency, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
uh,
I forgot.
so you guys become weak-kneed for a second from the damage this power this test is doing to you. You stagger a little bit. You get kind of double vision. You this kind of beneath this onslaught of pain, you're kind of grasping, as tight as you can and holding on and praying for somebody to help you. I need Arcana checks. Come on, you guys almost got it. Let's do this.
I got a 7.
4.
22.
There goes my
9.
spell slots. We're all getting fucked up.
Speak for yourself.
Oh,
5.
dude.
5 spell slots total. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
That's a 5th level spell slot.
Jeez.
Yikes! All right, so DM, another question: what happens when you run out of spell slots?
Level of exhaustion.
Holy shit!
Dang.
And I can't. And right now, as I'm in this form, I cannot cast Healing Spirit again.
Right now, Garmor is in the "you're on your own, fuckers" form.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We out here living. I'm living.
Yeah,
my
the
best
surge
Alright.
of the energy from the equipment is just
Oh.
coursing through the cracks of its earth elemental form.
Oh yeah, you're glowing like magma.
Whew.
So Zorax, you are suffering in a way no man has ever suffered. Tortured in body, mind, and spirit. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
This would be the second time this has happened to me.
What? You don't even know what's gonna happen.
Well, no, I mean the first time was when I touched the sword initially, and my body, mind, and spirit was also getting tortured. So 18. That's my 18's not bad. I hope it succeeds. We'll see.
The barrier in your mind, as you've caged this dark beast, it screams and bellows, "Do you have any idea how much I sacrificed?" And you reinforce it with a... What is something...
Positive?
Yeah, Zorax doesn't have anything positive about him.
That's true.
He has his wife,
What's her name?
Oh, love.
Saphira.
There you go.
Oh, damn, he knew. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
knew.
laugh if you forgot.
It's
all
my
right,
bond.
So with
It's
that,
one of the, I literally
uh,
wrote it down as my wife Saphira is one of my greatest joys.
so you reach out knowing that if you give into this pain, Saphira will be alone. And that gives you a renewed sense of strength. And over top of the cage, you drop a set of stone walls that surround him. And his scream and begging and rage turns into a slight distant yell behind thick stone walls. You can hear it, but it's ever so light. And she says, "We're almost there! We're almost there!" And as you guys look, you can see the darkness running up to the pommel of the blade.
If
This
I
is
live
the
to see
last
this, I gotta
round, you
give my
guys.
wife a hug.
All right.
Last round. Let's get this done.
I need Constitution saving throws.
All right.
Please survive. Fuck! God
24. What'd you roll?
11!
Wait, what'd you roll?
11!
Flash of genius. It's now a 16.
Well, that's great.
You
Is
pass.
that enough? Yay! I
16's
don't
the DC, yeah.
Nineteen.
Exhaustion. Thank you, Merl.
27.
Echo?
I'm gonna,
Alrighty.
You're
I'm gonna have
welcome.
to give Merl a hug too.
Right. The furious stinging wounds in your mind and body are redirected into anger towards this dark blade.
Ah, yes, my primal mood. I'm back, baby.
Give me an Arcana check, you guys.
It's a
If you are
4.
if you're out of spell slots, it needs to be a Constitution saving throw
31.
for exhaustion.
I have 4 spell slots total left. What is it?
Gosh.
13, and I still have some
Okay.
spell slots left.
4.
I got a 9 on the Arcana.
So you lose 4 levels worth of spell slots.
The last
I am-
of
You literally wiped me dry to the last spell slot with that
Man.
one. That was it. I'm completely, well, I say powerless, but that's not true.
I have used
means
up
I'm
my
out of
first,
space, people.
second,
Merle,
and 4th level spell slots.
31.
My man
he's just
Merl.
like, I got this.
Lasers, no problem.
Yeah.
So
This is like up Merle's alley Arcana checks.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
really is. It's plus 11.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's why I
Oh,
made this
holy cow.
group checks.
It is.
Yay,
Yeah,
I don't need to suffer exhaustion.
Meanwhile,
Your thoughts and resolve are tested by a surge of pain, sharper than one you've ever felt. Sharp pain tears tears at you, like claws of madness ripping away your sanity. Give me a
Yikes.
wisdom saving throw, Zorax.
come on.
I got a 13. This is I got a 3. Come on.
Flash of genius.
How okay?
How many
does
do you
it-
have?
A lot. I know it's based on his intelligence modifier. I'm pretty
Not
sure.
many
Right?
left.
Yeah.
No, I think he used he might have like 2 left probably.
I got
2,
1 left.
maybe 3. 1,
yeah.
okay.
1.
That puts you
I
at
knew he has a lot.
16. I had thought about that after the fact, and I was just like, man, I should have made that low end 17. But you know what? I like that it let you shine.
Yep.
I just imagine Merle's flash of genius is like, hey, you idiot! What's wrong with you?
Probably.
It's just Merle giving the greatest pep talk of all time. He's like, I know what Zorax needs. He doesn't care about the pain. He just needs an ego boost. You got it, buddy.
With
Suck
that
that, yeah.
last bit of Merle whispering in your ear, shouting, "You're an idiot."
Also, how much of a better glorious end could you ask for?
Right. She says, "We've got it now," and she slams on a big button. And in your mind's eye, Zorax, a giant bubble of energy, of black energy, forms and encapsulates, and then shrinks around this energy in your mind. And for a brief moment, you hear the echoes and screams before something happens to you that hasn't happened in a long time. Complete and utter silence. And as you hear as all the machines power down, you see her standing there over the sword, or over the sword's pommel, and she puts the crystal on top, and she runs her little spectral hands, and you see the energy being drawn up out of the sword and into this chrysalis. And this entire crystal begins to radiate a dark energy. And she goes, huh. Anybody dead?
I'm good.
I haven't felt pain like this since I touched the damn sword.
She holds it up, and
Did,
thing comes down. We'll sit this right here for now, and it lifts it up. It's safe there.
It will never
All
see the
right.
day of light again.
Who needs a mug of ale? Because I know I need about
Did
5.
I could use a
did
couple
Jara
shots.
or Liv get hit by anything jumping off?
So as Echo turns around, you see Osiv standing in front of Jara, holding out his axe, and it is charred and blackened on one side that's facing towards you. He pulls it down. He goes, "Now that was a good time, my friends." And you
Oh,
see
man.
Jara, his whole entire crotch is soaking wet. And he's just sitting down. He's like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Honestly, I feel for him now. Like, yeah, not in this case.
Garwin.
The
Good
weapon.
time!
Good time. The black razor has been purified and has returned to the sword of Zariel, but is a little different. Excuse me. In the your mind, there is a whisper.
Oh god, another one.
There is a slight whisper.
Oh god.
It's almost feminine and fragile.
Is it Lulu?
It says,
I'll kill it.
and it says, Zorax. Zorax, is that you?
Guys, the demons aren't gone. I don't know what's here, but it's not gone.
She says, I've waited so long to speak with you.
Who?
It has seemed like ages since you have first held me,
Who are
and
you?
your darkness corrupted me. You corrupted me. You nearly killed me. You know,
Likewise, you almost killed me.
no.
Give and take, I suppose.
You hear kind of you don't hear it, but you get a kind of sense of exasperation. And she says, it is nice to finally meet you. I have been lost since you first touched me. Yes.
Who are you?
Hmm.
What is your name? If you don't...
That's... Who am I? That is a good question.
That's a new one. Sword with amnesia.
My memory is not... My memory is not what it was. And
What
what
is it
is
saying?
this? There's a part of our connection has changed. What is this? And she's just kind of lost for a moment.
Are you... This is kind of outlandish to think, but are you a fragment of Zariel?
Who is Zariel?
That's a no. Cool. That had me worried.
At which point, Garmor reverts to his form by way of his elemental form crumbles and dissipates into a silvery mist.
That's cool.
And
So
he goes up to Zorax. What is it saying?
I'll relay you when I get the chance. It's
um,
confused.
Perhaps I could restore its mind with greater restoration. It won't sever your connection with it, but it could restore its mind.
I trust you. And I hold out the sword, actually.
And I cast greater restoration on the sword to restore whatever damaged mind it had.
I back up to where Osiv is.
He's like, fuck. You touch the blade, and a rush of energy fills it. And once again, you hear kind of like a slight gasp.
Does
in your
Garmor hear
mind.
this too?
No, in your mind.
Just me? Okay.
What was that? I feel different.
Better?
I don't know. I don't know. What does this mean?
What do
Did it
you know
work?
about yourself?
I was created by my master to serve him,
Him?
to serve you.
Me.
And you can hear a sense of confusion. Yes. Yes. I'm here for you, master. So you have just reforged the sword of Zariel to not be the sword of Zariel, but it's the same sword, but with some minor alterations. Its personality was just reborn. It no longer does searing radiance because of Garmor's touch upon it. It is infused with instead of Truth Seer, which means you gain advantage on insight checks, it imbues it with his knowledge of nature, and you gain advantage on nature checks. Sorry, he twisted it. The weapon does not have a personality as of yet. It'll be forged during your adventures. It has some new minor features. Oh, instead of searing radiance, it now has pulled some of your darkness into it and mixed it, and now does a black. It does like black fire. It does fire damage, but does black damage instead of radiant. And then you've gained some
Necrotic?
new.
So necrotic?
No, it's fire damage. It's just black.
Flavor.
Yeah.
Okay. You will have to send me this 100%. Because I'm sure there's a big paragraph attached to it.
Well, I can send you the thing, but the rest is got to be edited into a form before I can send it to you.
Okay, that's
because
fine.
I basically rolled the stuff up, but haven't actually put it into a sheet yet.
That's fine.
And then you gain some new features as well.
Again, what am I getting to nature again? Is it
Advantage.
proficiency?
You're gaining
Advantage
on nature checks, yeah.
Okay.
And then you gain some new other minor features for your spell or for your weapon that you've now created. You will gain resistance to goddamn druids. You will gain resistance to charm effects.
Okay.
So you didn't already have advantage on charm effects, did you?
No.
Okay. So that'll grant you benefit resistance to charm effects, but not immunity. So to grant you advantage. And then the weapon takes on a dark silvery sheen, but not that it's not in a way that makes it seem like an evil weapon.
Neutral weapon?
Yeah, it's undecided yet. That's the thing. Its personality was just born. So it's going to change based on his interactions with him. Not necessarily him killing shit, but whatever. We'll figure it out as we go. I'll get that all written up and sent to you. So she turns to you and says, well, I'll call that a success.
All things considered.
We're not
It could be
dead.
worse. Yeah. Yeah. That's a shame. Guess that means I got to give the sword back to you, huh?
Yes.
I mean, it's not going to attune to anyone else.
You'd be surprised what you can do with science. Anyways. So that'll be
Might want to keep that corruption
100
out of-
Xenos.
How much?
100 Xenos. What? Do you go to a doctor and expect free service?
I look to Echo and
He's
just
like,
stare, and I just stare at him.
poor guy's footing the bill.
I don't have that much.
I already paid you an information on the
What?
lore of the sword.
That was great, but that wasn't payment.
How was that not payment?
That was down payment. There's a difference.
Why would you agree to this before knowing we had money?
Well, if you don't have money, that just means I will have to contract you to do some work for me now, won't I? Until you pay off your debt.
I should have just been taken by the damn Archangels.
Ravnica sometimes.
The whole world of Ravnica runs on deals, man. She says, well, since you don't have the money to pay, I will draw up a contract for a few jobs that I need done.
What if I gave
Within
you the
reason.
The Angels are going to take me in about 20 hours anyway.
Well, there's no
They're
reason
still
to
gonna-
now.
They're still going to.
Well, we'll
They're
see.
going to
What
do
were you gonna say, Darmore?
inspections.
What if I were to just give you the elemental stone as a partial payment?
She looks at it. All right, that'll do.
So removing my gift from the Storm King.
I guess.
Yeah, that looks all right. She has this thing come down out of the ceiling, sits it on it, goes right back up. Well, if that's anything else, you've wasted 3 hours of my day. I've got work to do, so if you
Wasted,
need
she
anything
said.
else, let me
As
know.
if the
next
experience
time.
was worth nothing.
How do I join you guys?
There it is.
Oh, I was waiting for that. So, you want to join the laboratory of metallurgy, huh?
Well, that does seem to be the one that fits me the most. Considering I tend to craft magical items.
Well, all right. Well, it should be honest that most Izzet recruits begin as attendants in the service of somebody more powerful, more important.
Okay.
Usually, somebody like myself, maybe. Though I don't think I'm taking any recruits at the moment. Generally, you have to do a few menial tasks, and then, as you take on bigger and bigger responsibilities, you'll move up the ranks. But you'll have to meet with one of the guild leaders and have the vote of a member who's willing to take you on.
Fair enough.
Or, honestly, the easier way is completing a complex experiment. There's lots of people that, lots of folks around here that are looking for extra helping hands. So I'm sure that we can make something work.
Probably.
Since you're a spellcaster of sorts, it certainly helps if you can prove your potency in magic. That's pretty important, especially depending on the laboratory you want to study in. Do you have one of interest?
Metallurgy.
Well, now isn't that just perfect? All right, how about you come back to me tomorrow and we'll have a chat, huh?
Sounds good.
Can I help any? You guys need anything else? No, get out. I got work to do.
And I leave.
You guys head back to your little hideaway, and I think that's where we'll end it for tonight.
All right.
Did we get the benefits of a full rest?
All right.
I haven't said that yet.
Mhm.
Yeah,
May we?
you do. You will. But remember, you only gain half your hit dice on a full rest.
Yep.
Yeah, I forget how much I used up.
Yep.
Yep.
You didn't know how many of those you used?
Well,
Weren't you keeping track?
part of the time I was using my Earth Elemental form to give me immunity to exhaustion.
Right, but you didn't even
So-
get down to exhaustion. You lost hit dice, though.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. So
Doesn't
I
make
should
your
have.
hit dice go away.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just
Stop
say I
doing
used up all of them.
That's fine. All right, that'll do it for our game tonight. I've got this whole big virtual tabletop thing going, but you guys swerved a couple different directions, so that's okay. We'll probably still need it, so it's ready. Did you guys have a good time tonight?
Yeah.
That was very crazy.
Good time.
Good time.
And hopefully Merl left a fairly good impression.
You did. Actually, despite her attitude, she was actually impressed with most of you. I've got 3 little lines here that I'm supposed to say if you guys did a shitty job. But luckily I didn't have to. So with that, this was different, obviously. There is... I do want to do kind of a once-over as a reminder of kind of what you guys experienced. You finished with your judgment. You found out that you contacted El Terrell via Echo and got some information back about where Duke is. You also saw him on the TV. You're able to purify the blade, so the taint is no longer going to be a challenge for Zorax. Which also means I don't got to worry about him having to kill people every 3 days, which is great.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
you know, but it's not like you don't have to worry about the blade crapping him good either.
They'll have to deal with the
Yeah.
Archangels because they don't know about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All you
See
gotta
you
do
later,
is tell them
Garwin. Thanks for
handled.
joining. And the benefit is that when they separated you, it was much more risky with the Archangels. So I'm glad you guys took this approach because it gave me an opportunity to use a unique skill challenge that I designed a while ago and hadn't used. Which
And that's
is
actually why
different.
Merl pushed for it, because he probably has a better chance of surviving intact as himself doing
Well,
this method.
Yeah, and I had wrote down that if it succeeds here, or with the Archangels, they were going to take the blade because they were just going to separate him from it and lock it away as opposed to climb it. So this was a good alternative, and it also made it that I didn't have to take away Zorax's prized possession, which I'm happy for because I didn't want to do that. All right, that'll do
I
it
am
for our game
bummed
today.
that instead of gaining insight, I gain nature.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Your buddy was unexpectedly involved in the crafting of a new magic item. So I
But
wasn't.
that doesn't make
expecting
any sense. Why wouldn't it just not work instead? Because
Why would it not
the
work?
intention was
Nature
only
influence.
to. Yeah, but the intention was the greater restoration. It's not forging the blade. The blade's already forged. Is it not?
It wasn't forging a blade, but you basically just had a barrage of magical energies go into this thing.
No.
And
But that's not how that was supposed to work. 'Cause the idea was it was getting the dark energy out. We never put anything back. Well, we did put our energy back into it, but there's still
yeah,
It's like
this
a
tiny amount
baby.
in comparison to giant beams for hours.
This is a
I
5th
just-
level spell, by the way.
But we drained like 20 levels worth of spells. That's the argument I'm making. How does this one
think it's
fraction
after-
of something?
it
It's
was because
after all
it was
that's
that's
been
after
drained
you were
out.
all done.
And then you get
And-
this brand new, like, little baby of a sword that has no experiences. And the first experience it gets is druidic energy.
Yep.
He's like, I got this
Yeah.
all-powerful sword, but I'm not happy that it doesn't make me detect lies perfectly anymore.
Maybe it would have been different if it was done by a cleric. I don't know.
Who
I
knows?
don't know.
Not important.
All right, that'll do it.
I
For
just
the
wanna
night.
see the
wanna
line of
thank
thought,
everyone for joining us.
I don't know.
Well, that was it. Is that if you're just looking for the train of thought, is this thing is just now awakening after having a plethora of things done to it and it discombobulated and put back together, which is why I did the random rolls for the abilities. But this was a reason to alter it a little bit and have a little bit of influence from another person to help them kind of influence in the creation process. If I knew it was going to piss you off so much, I might not have did it, but I don't care, honestly. So I do understand that you're pissed off because that's one of the powers of the weapon. And I will rethink about undoing that in a different way if that'll
But
make you
on the flip
happy.
side, you get some pissed off angels off your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll see you guys later. Everyone have a good night.
See ya.
Thanks for joining us
Yeah.
tonight.